in this match. It's Cuddlebear. In the top right, we have Masa, whose name is literally Maru. His actual name. Fun fact. And we're kicking off best of fives throughout the day. 4 matches will be round number 1. And I'm gonna spend, since nobody's proxying, just a few seconds making sure I didn't screw anything up. I think I didn't screw anything up. I'm sure I'll find that out eventually. Alright, let's jump back in. Masa actually building his Rex a little bit far back into the base. Now we're on Cerulean Fall. It's Terran versus Terran. Cuddlebear scouting for proxies. But this is a map where Reapers are not as effective. There's no Reaper jump point in the back that you find on a lot of different maps. There are only a couple that is not the case. So that makes you a little safer when it comes to defending against Reapers early on. But Cuddlebear still playing it very close to the chest. Sends out the SCV in order to be able to scout. Masa going for the 1 base play. Now TVT, since it's a more defensive map, you have a ramp going up to your net. You do have that lack of Reaper jump location. Cuddlebear has scouted for the proxies. 1 base pressures are less effective, especially if your opponent has scouted. Now that doesn't mean they can't be effective at all. There's still plenty of opportunities for things like Cyclone Drop, Tank Pushes, Liberators, Cloak Banshees, Ravens. I described a lot of different Terran units, I know. The first Reaper for Masa. Can we every time. The first exchange. Back and forth. Some shots fired, but everybody goes home. A Hellion is the choice first, so Masa saving up a bit of gas here. He's up to 200, so what's that going to be for? A Tech Lab's on the way. I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to be flipped over to the starport when it completes. Cuddlebear has managed to expand on the other side. First mule's dropping and all that, but he should know it's risky business trying to jump up. Oh, well. Didn't know well enough. And actually ends up losing a Reaper, unfortunately. Okay. As I'm finally done fixing things, I think. For now. I'm sure I'll look distracted throughout the day when things break. Scan going down, gonna catch the cloak. And what does Cuddlebear have for defense? He's going for the reactor clones. Oh, the Hellions are gonna get in. The clones are about to finish, but this is not where he wanted the Hellions to be. This could be a very rough start here for Cuddlebear. Now, he has locked all of the units in, which means they should all die eventually. But at what cost? 13 SCVs going down. He just dropped a mule. The cloak, well, a soon-to-be cloak Banshee is most of the way across the map. And while Cuddlebear is going for a 3rd command center, and Masa's just starting his 2nd. I mean, the turret is in good position. Oh, that was a lot more damage than should have been done. Those Hellions getting in was quite a big mistake. Oh, the scan, the triple lock. Is it enough? Yes. Takes down the Banshee. Okay, he's doing everything right. The problem here really is he has a lot of ground to make up. 15 SCVs going down is difficult to recover from. He could... Oh, I don't know if Cuddlebear saw that. The Banshee cloaks in time. There are no lock-ons. He's looking for it. Right this exact moment, if Cuddlebear attacks with 3 Cyclones, he has potential to do damage, but there's soon to be another tank in Banshee, and that will remove that potential. Unfortunately, the Banshee did slip by. Masa gonna find some more damage. This Just going to work, just chipping away. Oh, it runs out of energy. I think it actually picked up 0 kills, so not bad. So Cuddlebear, I mean, he's doing everything right. He's deflected these Banshees about as well as you could ever expect. But he's still making up some ground. Masa doesn't have the infrastructure to really punish Cuddlebear, though. So that is the saving grace. At the same time, Cuddlebear doesn't really have any production facilities either. So once these Banshees start to get pushed away, there's not really much potential to be attacking one another until more production comes up. You're not going to walk across the map with a couple siege tanks, or if the threat of Banshees is coming in. Masa's going to build a 5th Banshee. Yeah. No, 4th Banshee. Can I count? 4th Banshee. Okay. I figured it out. Yeah. The worker count evening up, but where does Cuddlebear go from here? It looks like he's going to mech it happen. Which makes a lot of sense when you've been forced into this many Cyclones early on. Banshee coming in the right side, but he should have enough clones to ward off the cloak. Into the main as well. Finding an opportunity. The double prong. Will he triple lock? He does. That should kill one, but the other one comes in. Finishes it off just barely. Another scan. Maybe a bit preemptive. Not going to catch that one. Every missed scan hurts. He's nailed most of them so far, though. The rest of the factories coming up. The lack of armory really hurts. With this Cyclone heavy unit composition, you really want to get +1 attack. If possible. Oh yeah, I should probably hide the song name, right? But what a good song. You got a good point. Masa coming out. It looks like he's just setting up to take his 3rd. He's got the orbital now. A handful of units are coming across, but yeah, it looks like that was a bit of a mistake. A scan in the main? Now Masa's not going to bite in that. Sometimes a scan in the main can be a precursor to a drop. But Masa's already seen. He's going for mech. He's got factories. He barely has a starport finish. The risk of a drop is incredibly low. He doesn't have to worry about it. Cuddlebear, on the other hand, should be very scared of a potential... Even a 2 medevac drop could potentially end the game in this scenario. There still is no armory. There's still no armor. 1-1 upgrades are on the way for Masa. The lock-on not going to be enough to finish off that Banshee. Look at the map vision. He sees everything. Well, it's not perfect, but it's very good. I take the sees everything part back, but he's pretty close to it. A Liberator trying to come into the main, but Cuddlebear, Viking ready to intercept. Viking gives up on life. Unfortunately, didn't notice that Liberator being hit. SCVs just being slaughtered throughout this match. Another Liberator was at the net at the same time. Masa on both sides. Liberator in the main. Still taking pot shots. Double-digit kills now. And that's going to set up as Cuddlebear has been forced out of position to deal with these Liberators. The 3rd prong, and now this is the big one. 4 tanks. A lot of Marines. Only 1 tank at home to the defense. Blitz kills it. 20 SCVs now forces the 3rd base to lift. A decisive first match here from Masa. While Cuddlebear has held on, it has not appeared like at any point he really was threatening a counterattack. He's going to try to take the other 3rd. It's just the first match in a best of 5. First game of the day, potentially. A scan. He is worrying about units coming up, stimming up, and taking out his new location. But he hasn't dislodged himself quite yet from the 3rd base. But Masa already got a 4th on the way. 69 SCVs. His armory is about to finish just a few seconds after Cuddlebear, who's going for mech. Still no upgrades there. The scan comes out. Unfortunately, Cuddlebear walking into siege tank position. Another scan. Some Hellions get by. Finally, Masa losing SCVs. Will he lose enough of them? 6 so far, 8. It's not terrible. It's pretty good damage, but he did lose all the Hellions as well. A medevac drop, even 2 Marines getting in, finding more kills, just finding every single angle. And down goes another 9, evening up the count. And Cuddlebear, he's still... Is that building armor? Oh, okay, it was a misclick. I was like, Masa, I don't know if that's better than +2 armor, but +2 armor for your buildings is way more important. No, he cancels and gets +2 infantry. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Masa is just waiting for his opportunity to bring down the killing blow. That SCV, incredibly dead. A drop on the right side. Reinforcements down the center. Still at 74 SCVs. He's that confident. He went for 4 orbitals. Even though orbitals are definitely more favored against mech, because planetaries can't fly. Double drop in the main. There's nothing here but a turret. The tanks at the front doing all right. The Cyclones will be able to ward this off for now. Still 0 upgrades at all for Cuddlebear. The main is being gutted. He's stimming through. A tank being targeted. More SCVs. Masa. He got pushed back in the center, but the supply tells the story. He's gonna kill the drop depot. Not that Cuddlebear is at any risk of being supply blocked. The tank's coming up. A triple drop. Masa he knows exactly what to do from here. Divide and conquer. Another drop to the main. There's nothing here. He can't afford it. There's 1 attack. He's got 1 shot. His army supply is kind of close. The production is gone. He needs to crush the army at the front. It doesn't have 2-2 quite yet, but it is damn close. +1, gonna finish for Cuddlebear. There's actually no anti-air to prevent the drop on the tanks. Not all of them are sieged up. He just has so much power. This actually, I mean, he just needs to whittle it down. He can pull the boys. The production is gone. He's pushing through, but he's going to be stopped eventually. Masa. The boys come down. The boys themselves. Going to be enough to break this attack. GG. Masa takes game 1. Let's take a look at the graphs here a little.
Now I have your attention.
I should probably disable SC2 replay stats, I realize, or it's gonna spoil the games for everyone. Spoiler! Sorry! In the chat. I'll upload them all later, though. Yeah, the worker's active. It was Cuddlebear talking about how he left his door open and Masa thanking him for being so polite and forthcoming and welcoming. Remember, you can check out the brackets. This is going to be a Swiss round system, which the basics of it, if I'm understanding correctly, and I've actually participated in before, every player throughout the, because this will be a multi-day and multi-week event to determine who's getting through to the final playoffs. Every player will play one another, and then the players who have better records will play one another. Like, say, Neeb and Scarlett both are 3-0. They will end up meeting one another, whereas both 0-3 players will as well. So everybody will have a chance to play against almost everyone, or maybe everyone. We'll find out. I don't want to say anything entirely wrong, so we'll just use general statements. All right. We're going into game number 2, best of 5, first to 3. We're back. Game number 2 of this round 1 Starladder Ultimate Series North America match. Cuddlebear and Masa. Cuddlebear, a top grandmaster, making his way through the amateur series, but Masa, an accomplished WCS player. Not quite... wait, am I wrong about that? WCS, right? Sir, I need to make sure. I keep saying all these words without checking the facts. And is he going to be at BlizzCon? We're going to find out when I Google it. No, not quite making it this year.
Now I have
They're
your
doing very
attention.
well in some of the qualifiers. Racking up some WCS points, but didn't quite make the cut this year. But the Ultimate Series, some say, is more important. So that's why we're here. Masa sending out a scouting STV. We'll see if Cuddlebear, just some small mistakes, but at this level, they stack up quick. So we will see. One base on either side, double gas. Factory. Barracks in the main. All buildings in the main. Cuddlebear actually only mining with a total of 3 in gas. I don't know if... It seems he wants to just stay heavy on the minerals, be able to expand. But he also wants to get his tech out more quickly. So, on the other side, Masa... It looks like both players going for a little bit of gas manipulation here in order to be able to get more minerals out. So similar builds. Maybe they learn from one another. Who knows? I'm not good enough to know all the details of every single exact TVT build, because what I do in TVT is I make a bunch of Cyclones and pray, and I have a 90% win rate this season, and welcome to the Masters League. I'm not grand enough. The rag's flipping over. He will be throwing the factory down on it. I mean, I guess there's a chance of a starport, but it looks like it's going to be heavy on the Cyclones. They were watching me. They like my strategies. I'm taking credit for this. Cuddlebear going to get his Reaper, and this is very convenient. He sees... Wait, did he see the Expo? He did. Okay, that's all the important info. Sees a Cyclone, sees a Reaper, sees the Expo. He's coming back in for more, so greedy, but sees a second Hellion as well. Great information here for Cuddlebear. Didn't quite get up the ramp to see there's no starport yet. But he has most of the info he needs. He has 3... Very sneaky. He knows this army's coming across. He knows he's going to finish the CC.
Now I have your attention.
It's a bit risky to just go across the map, though. He doesn't have any units at home. Like, there's still a Cyclone coming. Cuddlebear! Cuddlebear! I don't know, Kev. This is a bold move. He's going to catch one of the clones on the way out. Masa will move it. The rest of the units are coming back. Cuddlebear's on the high ground. There's a single clone on the high ground as well. That's going to actually make a lot of difference here, though. The damage is ridiculously fast. It comes out. Oh, he might be able to kill one of the SCVs. The boys almost getting him stuck. Going straight for a depot. The rest of the units are coming back. Eventually, Cuddlebear's clones will die. But at what cost? Well, that's going to happen very quickly now. More clones coming out. He's not going to be able to kill this one off. So, was this worth it? Was this worth it? Did he see Cloak on the way? He saw that there was a starport. There's double clone production, but he doesn't quite have the resources to double reactor clone. But he doesn't have the resources to utilize all of that. And I don't believe he has seen that a Cloak Banshee is on the way. Cloak Banshee, incredibly effective against Cyclones. Wait, but he did have to delay the Banshee because of all the pressure. So that's something. That gives Cuddlebear more time to potentially react, to get his own clones out. And the scan sees it. We should see an engineering bay. Yep. Being kicked off. And that's enough time to react. He's making a lot of Cyclones here. If you can get out in front and counter the Banshee before it's there, great. Okay, that's exactly what you want. If the Banshee hits and you're completely, well, unprepared or mostly unprepared, if you can't just scan and kill it or have the turrets in place, it's almost impossible to recover from that. It's really, really rough. An armory on the way. It's gonna be mech, it looks like, out of Masa. For Cuddlebear, no armory as of yet. The first Banshee coming across. He's making another one. I'm not sure if he caught a glimpse of that. He did. Pulling back with some of the Cloak Banshee. Well, some of the Cyclones there. He's saved up scan energy. He should be able to lock on. He gets 2 locks. That might not be enough, though, to finish it off. Does push it away. Slides around the scan. He's going to finish off one, but Hellions in the net. The 1-2. I don't know if there are enough clones here. It's a numbers game. The scan finishes it off. Gets the Banshee. He's losing. Well, 11 SCVs have gone down, so he's got to do some damage here. The Clone War's begun. He tries to target down. Gets 2. Nice targeting there, but the clone count. 8-4. Cuddlebear has lost a lot of SCVs to the Hellion backstab at home. He's got to go home and repair. Got to send his cars back to the shop. Now, Masa's making 4 clones at a time and +1 attack. +1 attack is massive for Cyclones. They attack 10 times a second. So, adding 1 damage is 10 DPS. Which is higher than some units do in general. If those Cyclones are just allowed to keep it like that, +1 will decide the fight. Right now, Cuddlebear has a Cyclone lead. He needs... Yeah. Cuddlebear sees that the armory is done. I don't know if he caught the scan. Well, I don't think the scan caught the 3rd, but he needs an amazing fight here. He needs to fight before +1. If +1 finishes, it's going to get almost impossible. He tries to target down the base. Now this is the time. This is the time. But does he have the numbers? He's trying to work his way through in the silliest micro fight. Targeting down, but Masa will survive. He lost 12 SCVs. The Banshee's still chilling in the main. The double lock is there. He's out of energy. He doesn't need to rescan. He should have the vision to take it out. But still, Cuddlebear is down 10 SCVs. He's going to be down an upgrade. It's in the classic, just keep making Cloak Banshees strat. This has been since Banshees came out in StarCraft 2, this has been a tried and true strategy where, especially in TVT, but in general, you just keep making Cloak Banshees, and if the first Banshee doesn't do anything, if the second Banshee doesn't do anything, if the third Banshee doesn't do anything, if the fourth, and then the 5th Banshee comes in and kills 24 SCVs. Like, sometimes you lose before that point, but it's almost out of energy. Looks like Cuddlebear doesn't want to use a scan. 1-1 is on the way. Masa able to kick off +2 attack, but there will be a window. there will be a window for Cuddlebear with 1-1. There's a chance. There's a dream. He's down in the Cyclone count, though, which one upgrade not going to make up for 4 or 5 more clones. Banshee, number 5. Come on down. 4. Okay, well, if I learned to count, I'd be so good. That's a lot of clones. Oh, and he has to come down the ramp. That's, well, that's what that looks like. That's a lot of damage. He's targeting down some. He looks at the orbital command, it just implodes. There's a single tank on the high ground, but I think the damage has already been done. 1-1 is not done. 30 SCVs have lost their lives, and Masa goes to match point. That was quick. Alright. By the way, our matches throughout the day, you can use the bracket command at any time, but today will be, well, next, Neeb versus Jardozer, Scarlett versus Puck, and True versus, it should be Future. I don't know why that says TBD, but Blue Shift will be the next match. And we're jumping in. Can Cuddlebear bring it back? He needs to take 3 games in a row. I'm not actually sure if the match score matters. I will check. But we will see. Cuddlebear spawning in green in the top right. And we got Masa, bottom left. The North American Maru. Ah, a classic tactic. 2 SCVs going out on the map. And here we go. I don't mind this. I don't mind this from Cuddlebear at all. I mean, it's such an obvious play. But will Masa prepare for it? That's the question. Because if at some point 3 Reapers jump in and you have 1 Reaper and are building a reactor in a factory, well, you lose the game, is what happens. I mean, it comes down to how quickly Masa scouts it. He's not scouting at all. And the micro. If you do miss micro, like if he loses one of those first Reapers coming in. Now the question also, do you wait for 3 or do you go with the first one and then try to build on after that? It's usually better to go with the first one, but only if you don't lose it. The SCV gonna scout in. Gonna see the factories on the way. This is the best he could hope for. No scout. He's going for a factory. Well, actually, better would probably be he's going for a 1-Rax expand. But Masa has gone for this kind of opener throughout the series thus far. It looks like he's sending them straight in. Even the SCV coming out to play. Masa might be feeling like, okay. Oh, well, he sees 2 SCVs. That makes it a little obvious. The SCV's coming out to play. He doesn't want to take any damage. Put him within any more shots. The factory will finish. A Hellion on the way. Builds much quicker than a clone. Double Reaper, though. He's already done some damage. 2 SCVs going down on either side. He's got a micro back. Does not want to take any damage from the SCVs. The Reaper at the back. Hellion halfway done. Reaper coming up. The third Reaper almost done for Cuddlebear. He goes back. 4 SCVs have gone down thus far. Another bot. Ooh, nice bounce. But the Hellion comes out in the second Reaper at perfect time. He gets all 3 Reapers away. 2 on the chase. 2. No HP, but they heal. Big moves out of Cuddlebear. But Masa, he's got a second Hellion on the way, making each jump much more risky. There's not... Well, there's a factory starting for Cuddlebear at home. He only had 2 in the way of racks. The Rax is coming in. He realizes you can't jump up into Hellions. All those Reapers are going to stack up. The Starport. It looks like Cuddlebear going for something of a contain. He's done damage, but has he done enough? These Terran Overlords coming in. Oh, he's got some vision. The grenades must land, or the Hellions are going to do way too much damage. Oh, nice. Gets a pick. Yeah, that's something. Killing a depot for no. Oh, another one. Maybe. Is it a bait? Or is it not? The dance. The dancing of death. Beautiful grenade. Another. These Reapers really getting ahead of themselves. Now that's Masa's supply blocked. This is a good spot for Cuddlebear. The supply block is huge. He wasn't even building one. He drops a mule. He doesn't even drop supply. Wow, Cuddlebear getting very bold. Now the Cyclone will drive this away. Cuddlebear's got an Expo on the way. He's handled himself well. Coming in. Gonna try to bounce back the clone. If he could kill the clone. Okay, maybe getting a little greedy. Gets one of the Hellions. Gets 2. Beautiful bounces. Another grenade. Going for SCVs. Not sure. Well, he knows he's gonna have enough at home to defend. He's trying to get more damage done. There's still a Hellion on the field doing plenty. Grenades bouncing back. That will be the end of the Reapers. But how much damage was done? 8 SCVs, 2 Hellions, 2 Reapers, 2 Marines, and a depot. For the cost of 6 Reapers and 2 SCVs, and of course the proxy reduces your economy slightly. But at home, what are you doing? Why did you sit? He's gonna try to make 1 Marine to kill SCVs. Will it actually come out? I don't think so. What a... Okay, all right. I like your style, Cuddlebear, but that was ambitious. It's like, well, if I drop down the Rex, maybe I can kill 2 more SCVs. I don't... Okay. The Cyclone drop is coming in, but this is where Masa specializes. Now, this is... Who is it more important to find? I think that's actually way more important there for Cuddlebear to see. He saw, right? He saw... Well, the Liberator is going across. There's barely any defense. The Cyclone drop coming in. He's going to be forced to retreat. At the same time, a Liberator in the main. The classic 1-2. The Liberator sieges up. The SCV is getting taken out 1 by 1. 6 SCVs thus far. And Cuddlebear. Masa was already ready for this. Now is Masa paying attention? He's Cyclone dropping on the other side. The Marine's going to be taken out. A couple more in position. He's not really going to kill very many SCVs. Masa, 12 SCVs have gone down between the Liberator and the Clone drop. And that's going to put Masa up 7, and he killed the Liberator. The Liberator was cleaned up in the main, Masa's lib, but suddenly, once again, Cuddlebear crumbling to the 2-prong pressure. And a Cloak Banshee. The multitasker's dream. Oh my god, there's nothing. He's building a Raven. He's got to go with the clones. There's a tank. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Tries to micro away, but there's still a clone doing damage. The Reaper, he drops down. I mean, there's still a lot of danger here, but the Banshee coming in. It does have Cloak. On the other side, the Banshee going in for damage. The Raven about to finish. I mean... Nine more SCVs. There is a turret in the main, but he holds positions in the right spot. Masa's up 14 workers. Where are you going, tank? Where are you going? To the promised land. Cuddlebear has 1 Viking and 1 Raven. I would argue that's not a great ground army. Cuddlebear's building a couple clones at a time to scan. The auto turret not gonna make it. The boys are pulled. He goes for the tank. The Cyclone and the boys will keep him alive for now, but there's a Banshee in the main. Getting killed by a Viking, so thankfully for him, there's another Banshee. He tries to lock. He does. The Viking coming down gets knocked down. Ooh. Cuddlebear lives. And he's about equal on army supply. Unfortunately, that army supply is 13. He's got 2 clones, 2 ravens, a tank on the way. He did build a 3rd CC. I mean, the ideas are great, but Masa's execution of these multi-pronged attacks and harasses is far too good. We do have... Oh. No, God. The Ravens. Go away. Go away, Banshee. We don't like your kind around here. The Banshee unfazed. He's gonna it's not gonna kill it. Oh my God. From bad to worse. Finally, the Cyclone takes it out. Masa doubled the supply. Oh, jeez. I don't know what you do if you're Cuddlebear from here. I think the only way is to turtle it up and survive the 200 supply. But how? Because there's no way he's going to be able to attack. You don't attack with a couple siege tanks and ravens. He doesn't have any upgrades. I think he's just waiting for Masa to bring the hammer down. That Hellion. Ready, but not ready enough. Even spotting depots being added. A drop in the main, attack at the center. There's nothing in the main. He can't afford it. There's no counter damage coming out. There's nothing to even this out. Every point of damage is just more damage. Terrible, terrible damage. He will clean it up with some valuable Raven energy. Oh, Masa. You dirty Terran. He wants to finish in style. Literally dunking the units down. Looking for the clean sweep. 3-0 in this first round match. Alright. Double drop coming out as well. I mean, the Viking will see it coming, but does that matter? There's a couple tanks. Still no upgrades for Cuddlebear. It's just an empty tab. A double drop on the third, on the tanks. In the main. He scrambles the tank, but... There's a third... It's a 4-prong attack! I mean... One of the prongs gets bent off, but... GG. Good luck. Masa will take a clean sweep in the first round with some dominant TVT and great execution. Cuddlebear, some great ideas, but Masa definitely showing his strength. And now the Terran music starts, of course.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Thank you, by the way. Ecstasy Eternus for 31 months. The Fallen Usher for 2 months. Cap 9. Jules TV. Talapiku for those subs. Remember, if you were gifted a sub, you got 2 more days up until the end of September. If you're on a gift sub right now, you can continue it for just $1. Everybody wins. You get another month of subbing to the best StarCraft stream that is in my house. Amazon gets your payment information, which they probably already had, and I get more money. So, and we're going into the next round. We're just jumping in. That's how we do it on Starladder, all right? We don't stop. Jardozer versus Neeb. Use the bracket command. Parasite will be map number 1, another best of 5. Welcome back. In the top left for IXG Infinity Gaming, a top Grandmaster Zerg player. Recently having even more success making it through the amateur series, but he's got a dangerous and treacherous road ahead of him in this first match. It's Jardozer. Fun fact about Jardozer. He beat one of the best players one of Twitch Chat's favorite players in North America in the WCS qualifiers. And that player was, of course, me. And I'm not salty. In the bottom right, the 3-time WCS champion, the best American StarCraft player, maybe the best North American StarCraft player, getting to the semifinals of GSL.
Good. Now I have your attention.
It is from Ting, Neeb. Doing this thing. Zerg versus Protoss. Neeb is he searching for proxy hatches? I believe he is. He's looking for proxy hatches here. No shenanigans to start things off. On the other side, Jardozer. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing cheesy. Parasite, a larger map, longer rush distance. Now Neeb, does he, ooh, wow, something different. Neeb, one of the players who essentially defined, who wrote the book on the Stargate opener. Ongoing Stargate against Zerg. Going for a Twilight is out of the ordinary, but even though Jardozer has really, well, he's over one of the top Grandmaster players, but this is still Neeb as the heavy favorite. Heavy favorite. I think everybody can say that. So this might just be, well, let's see if you can handle the good old-fashioned Archon drop. All right? That's where it looks like we're going. Maybe even the DT Archon drop. Because he's adding on the Robo. No Stargate at all. It hits a little quicker. It's a bit more dangerous, but if you realize it's coming, easier to counter. Which is why people have added on the Stargate, because the Stargate creates some ambiguity as to what you're actually going for. The Phoenixes can push things away. You force out Spore Crawlers. You have the options for like things like Stasis Ward. It makes it harder for the Zerg to realize exactly what's going on. But this Archon drop hits harder. The DTs have potential, but it looks like Jardozer are going to scout it immediately. We should see a Roach Warren right off the bat in order to be able to shut this down. Maybe another couple Queens. He's going to see the Dark Shrine. Neeb adding everything on. All the information is on the table here for Jardozer.
Now I have your attention.
What's he going to do? Roach Warren? Do we see a lair? Maybe so. I'm not surprised to see Neeb kicking it off with this. Yeah, there's the lair as well. Now, if Jardozer can keep his drone count up, the big danger here is like it's not that hard to counter the Archon drop, but it's hard to counter it efficiently. It's hard to maintain a solid drone count. We're talking like 45 plus drones, and be able to get all the units you need to shut down the Archon drop before it can do real damage. Now, the Warp Prism being scouted out. If he, well, there's no way to stop the DTs from being warped in, but he might. No, he's not going to stop the Archon. Slices through. Second Archon. He actually held the DTs for a second, I think, just in case some units came up, but he will get both of them out. Roaches are on the way. There are 5 Queens, a solid counter. If he can take out the Prism with the Archons, that's the dream. There's a Transfuse coming down. The Archons have approximately 5,000 shields to work through. Can he actually pick up from the high ground there? He can. Ooh. That's a lot of HP gone on the Prism. Solid defense from Jardozer. Yeah. From Blue Zerg thus far. On the right side. He really wants to tap on that Prism. One more volley. It'll be so nice. But, oh, what? The double Prism plays.
Now I have your attention.
Big brain plays. Well, the double drop? Now this is getting wild. Neeb getting crazy here.
Good.
You don't see this
Now I
very
have your
often.
attention.
He's gonna, the quad Archon drop. Now, that's a lot of energy balls there. The danger. And Jardozer, he's only even on worker. He's getting road speed. There are 4 Archons. Assassinates a Queen. Gonna get out. Getting chased to the main. Speed is halfway done for the Roaches. The Spore Crawler in a great spot there, doing some damage to the Prism. Oh, the Queen's on the chase, looking for the Prism themselves, but they're a little bit off the creep. They got some leg cramps. Looks like one Archon. The pickup is there. Perfect micro from Neeb thus far. He has lost nothing. I take it back. He's lost a Prism. Oh, he loses another Archon. Okay. And suddenly, just like that, the resources tilt back the other direction. Yes, queens went down. 5 of them, in fact. A queen pentakill. But losing a prism and 2 Archons definitely cuts things the other way. The counterattack now a lot more dangerous. What does Neeb have at home? Well, he has 2 Immortals. Is Charge on the way? Charge is only halfway done. There might be an opportunity here. This Archon pretty low on the shields. Looks like he will be able, well, we'll be able to force the pickup. Oh my god, Neeb, you're disgusting. But on the other side, are there enough roaches to do real damage? The Stalker chasing this down. The Archon drop still on the way. Neeb has 56 probes to 46 drones. Jardozer looks like he's pulling the trigger on an attack. There aren't any Archons at home. Oh, good force fields from Neeb. We're gonna force this back. The Zealot's able to do damage even without charge. Charge is now done. He's gonna charge forward. More reinforcements coming. Zergling's on the way. If he can draw some of the fire from the Immortals. The Archon drop unloads at the back. He still has that Archon with HP damage. The reinforcements on the way for Jardozer. 1 Archon goes down. He picks up the other. The juggle is there. A Warpin on top of everything. The Ravagers are gone. Neeb stabilizing. And Jardozer is thrown back. Charging forward. Neeb ready with a counterattack. The pieces did not come together in time. And now Neeb ahead on workers. His unit composition much stronger. There's a slight Zergling counterattack. Now this is a big move because a Warpin just came up. He's actually going to have to pull probes away if he can somehow miraculously defend. There are 6 DTs in the mix here. He actually, well, okay, the Corrosive Bile hits 1. The DT's starting to slice through. He needs detection. Is there a spore? No, he moved the spore! It's a disaster! The DT's slicing through. The Zerglings, yeah, eventually, well, killing 17 probes, that's not bad, but losing the game, I would argue that's worse. There's no detection for these Dark Templar. He's trying to hit them with Corrosive Bile, but they're way too slippery. He finally gets an Overseer. The DT's mucking everything up. And GG, Neeb takes game number 1. So, a bit dangerous there. Jardozer with some good moves, but Neeb maintaining control throughout the match, for sure. We'll see. Now, I mean, like, that wasn't... maybe a bit more focus on the counterattack, the big counterattack with Ravagers. Wait a little bit longer for some Zerglings, and that can make the difference. Alright, we're going into game 2. Lost and found. Now remember, this is round 1 of Swiss round. So what that means is as time goes on, the players, the way it works, if you win more games, you will face players who have won more games. For example, if Neeb and Scarlett both win several rounds in a row, they inevitably have to face one another because the records matter. Alright, we're going into game 2. Just shooting through these matches. I love it. That's one of my least favorite things about online tournaments. Part of the reason, if I could be more general here, part of the reason you don't see me casting many online tournaments live is just simply the hurry up and wait aspect. That happens a lot of the time. It's like, let's get all these nerds to show up to the right place at the right time. What maps are we doing? We're doing the vetoes, everything here and there and all everywhere. Oh, Neeb. But thanks to Starladder, use the Starladder command. Go check out the site. To you, those of you that participate in the amateur series, and maybe some of you got your games casted by myself or Loco or Alex, thank you. But now we got to talk about how Neeb is proxy gating. He's like, I have somewhere to be. I don't know if he's back in Korea or he's at home right now. I don't know if it's dinner time or breakfast time, but he is not messing around. Wow. Wow. And he brings the probe around. He's going to sell it. He's going to make it look good. The probe coming in like he scouted off a gate. It's like, oh, I'm just scouting, see if you got a hatch first. Maybe he'll like throw down a fake pylon to make it look good. I don't know. And Jardozer is not going to know about this until the first two zealots. Well, the Overlord's not going to be there until the first two zealots are pretty much done.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Oh my. Now, if you're Jardozer, what are you thinking? He did not know. He's able to get 8... He's able to get 8 lings out. The first spine already going to be targeted. Zergling's taking damage. The probe involved. The cancel's there. He's making another spine. If he could get that out. Gonna try to fight one zealot on the low ground. More coming out. He can drone drill. The zealot's in kind of an awkward spot. The queen about to pop out. So that's going to be a help. More zealots are on the way. This is all out. Well, will there be an inject from the queen in the main? The attack at the net. The queen it sliced to pieces. One queen lives. Oh god. Drone's not the greatest anti-zealot. Ooh, the probe went in. No cancel there from Jardozer. He doesn't really have the money either. Oh god. And the zealots, they don't stop. It does look like Jardozer. He's down to 12 drones. He's got 40 minerals. Not looking great. And that's 2. Oh, Neeb. Oh, Neeb. Oh, Neeb.
Why does it always seem like I'm moving backward? Caught up in a dream, everybody's actor. Why does it always seem?
Well, game number 3 is going to be on Cerulean Fall. I'm still processing. Like, well, it works, right? Okay, here we go. Game number 3. We've had about 10 minutes of gameplay thus far. This is almost like a Maru versus Zest situation. Well, here we go. In this first round match. Top right, you have Infinity Gaming's Jardozer. Bottom left, Ting's Neeb. Now, I don't know if I've ever seen Neeb go for the Gateway proxy. I don't think I've ever seen him go for the shield battery, like Cannon Rush. I'm sure I've seen him Cannon Rush before. Like, I'm pretty sure of that, but it looks like he's going back to basics for game 3. Jardozer with the... Now, what does that do to your mind? You just got proxy 4-gated by the best player in North America. Now what? Now what? I don't... just do what you're good at, right? Like, hatch first, hatch gas pool. Maybe try to find a timing. He's bluffing. It's a bluff, but now... Wait, does Jardozer even see that? This is awkward. Okay. So, does Jardozer... Now, does he call the bluff? He sees the pylon. He's pulling 3 drones. So, that's a slight call. But he can't. Oh, but he... Get the probe. Get him. Get him. Okay. I'm rooting for Jardozer now. But after that last game... Now, I don't know, like, maybe if Neeb hadn't done the proxy in the last game, does he pull drones? Does he pull more than 1 at least? Maybe. Maybe not. But it had to be running through his mind, like... Really? Really, Neeb? Like, is that how you're gonna do me? But no, it's not a cannon rush. Now, down, now, now. I love the Terra music for the Protoss versus Zerg. No third base quite yet. For Jardozer, he's picking it up now. There's the Stargate in the back. Shade being thrown. Just some scouting. A Baneling nest. Does Neeb commit? He commits with the Adept. Oh, maybe he smells it. Maybe, does he smell the cheese? Do you smell it, Mr. Neeb? Now, the Adept, will he commit? He will... Okay, he does go to the net, but oh god. 2 Adepts now. Drone kills. He will be able to dodge one. A lot of Lings coming out. I think Neeb will see that. Do we have a shield battery on the way? Did he notice? The Adept lives. Insult to grievous injury. Now, the Phoenix is going to work, and Oracle's on the way. If the Oracle finds the Banelings before they hit the wall... Jardozer... I mean, why not leave the sport? He's got 18 drones. This has to work. And this has to be a resounding game-ending success. This doesn't just have to do well. He has to essentially win the game. Because Neeb has double his probes and counting. There are 2 Adepts on the way. There's going to be a total of 3. There's enough Banelings to do the damage. More Zerglings on the way. This is his chance. Neeb immediately reacts. He gets through. Where is the Oracle? The Oracle's on its way across the map. Does a quick 180. Going to the other side. Will we finish it before Warp Gate? Here comes the Oracle doing more damage. Oracle going to work on the Lings. He's going to run away. More probes on top of everything. The Adept shading through. More Zerglings on the way across the map. The Zerglings thinning out very quick. That wasn't enough. Jardozer are making more Lings. That was good. But that was not enough. 27 probes against 18 drones. There's no follow-up. I mean, like, he's gonna make more Banelings. But there's 2 Oracles, 1 has energy. Oh no. And he's well, and that's gonna be quite a quick series for us here. Remember, this is not the only night of Starladder Ultimate Series. There's several rounds to be played. 5 rounds, actually. So Neeb will be facing other opponents as well. And so will Jardozer. A rough start, but it's Neeb, okay. And that will wrap it up. Masa 3-0 over. Cuddlebear. And then Neeb 3-0 over Jardozer. A rough start for our amateur series winners, but just round 1. I'm going to reiterate. Let's see if we have the next match ready. The next match will be Scarlett versus Puck, I believe is what we have lined up. We'll see if that's actually ready to start. Thank you guys for watching. I should find a way to get the standings up there too. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying my so far short coverage of the Ultimate Series. Now let me the next rounds, there's gonna be a round tomorrow, same time, same place. And then next weekend. I'll be right back, just one moment. The next match, Scarlett versus Puck, and this should be our closest match so far.
One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, don't need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on you, waiting on you. Yeah, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on your call. Been waiting on your call right now. I wanna hear your voice somehow, voice somehow. Yeah. I've been waiting on your call. Oh.
I had the roses, but never your heart. I lived a dream, now I'm in the dark. Oh, 'cause you ran away and took my life, and so ripped me to pieces. Just let it all go. My heart was on fire, but you let me burn. You got me wired, now there's no return. No, you took my heart, you took my soul. Rip me to pieces, let it all go.
All right. Oh yeah, we got the standings. I mean, we have it on the link. Let me try to get a page up for it as well. Could I just do a browser search for this? That'd be pretty good. But how do I scroll? We're almost there. We're getting there. All right. There we go.
My heart was on fire, but you let me burn. You got me wired, now there's no return. No, you took my heart, you took my soul.
Rip me to pieces and let it all go. We did it. Looks like we're all ready to go. And this should be like we're halfway through the matches tonight. After the Ultimate Series, I will be going. Well, we'll be taking the stream will restart, no delay. We'll just have the normal stream. If you're tuning in, wondering what's going on. We're ready to go. Puck versus Scarlett. America versus Canada. And here we go.
Good. Now I have your attention.
All right. We are back in this first round match. Let me introduce you to our illustrious players.
Good.
In
now I have
the
your
bottom
attention.
left from Root Gaming, regarded as one of the top pro toss in North America, probably right behind Neeb. It's Puck. And in the top right, the Queen of Blades. Sometimes looking like the best Zerg outside of Korea. Sometimes not quite as consistent. We'll see which Scarlett shows up today. Oh, I ruined my intro. Anyway, Scarlett. But I'd say Scarlett definitely a favorite here. Puck has been a little more quiet lately. Still practicing, still grinding out the games. But still looking for that big breakout success. At least this year. Maybe the Ultimate Series. Taking it home against. Remember, on the other side, the European side of the bracket. And the Russian language region. There is several very... Well, Serral. There's Serral. Okay, you know what? I'll say it. There's Serral is in the tournament. So... really, whoever comes through NA to the playoffs, I'll also be casting the playoffs, which include all the regions, the best players. Serral is the elephant in the clubhouse. Which of these players? Well, Scarlett has taken Serral the distance before. A couple 3-2s, back-to-back 2 WCS events. ZVZ definitely. I know it's very early to be talking about who's going to beat Serral, but I think based on his history, we can talk about that. Because I think it's very likely Serral makes it through, and I think it's quite likely Scarlett does as well. So, we have a potential rematch. Wait, what was that, Puck? He started Warp Gate, then canceled it to get a Stargate. I don't know if that's some sort of mind game, or he realized he wanted to get the Stargate a little quicker. Alright. It looks like we're starting off with the most standard flavor. It's going to be a quick 3-base for Scarlett. It's going to be a Stargate first for Puck. So this shaping up like hundreds, if not thousands, of other Protoss versus Zergs that we've seen over the months, maybe years now, at least since the last balance patch. We got a new one coming up soon, but the Adept going deep in the paint there, trying to get a full shade, get a full scout of the creep. Sees that only 1 out of 3 is money and gas. The Spore Crawler's already on the way. Suspicious of maybe a proxy Stargate? Because that's quite early to be getting the Spore. Yeah, based on the positioning and timing, I'd say that she felt like it was going to be potentially a proxy star, but Adept shade through. A handful of Zerglings, enough to ward off a double or triple Adept pressure, but not enough to really cut into the economy that much. And also just having the Zerglings gives you options for delaying a third, maybe diving in if the Adepts are a little out of position, constantly scouting. Scarlett incredibly active. The shade thrown back. Puck looking for a couple pickoffs. Puck known for his micro, by the way. Has a tendency to be one of those players who really focuses on getting the maximum value out of every unit. And what is this? A second star. The first Oracle coming in. Everything looking all standard, looking all textbook, nothing crazy. But then a second Stargate changes everything. It's going to be the mass Oracle plays. Scarlett going for a Bane Nest. She's not entirely sure if it's going to be a big Adept pressure behind. The Baneling Nest is kind of your stopgap if a bunch of Adepts do end up shading out. She doesn't have any information besides seeing that there are Stargate units. But the extra Oracles are definitely, well, a second Oracle comes out. Once again, still not a tell. Not until, I'd say not until a third Oracle is on the map. As a Zerg, do you really know? Ooh, fuck. A little bit too close with the Phoenix. Scarlett already, well, no creep spread in the main. Probably going to add that on in just a moment. But creep spread already stretching out across the map. Hydra is done on the way. 5 Banelings. These are safety Banes for now. But there are no Adepts coming. I lied. There are Adepts coming. Glaives. So the transition is coming up. I'm not entirely sure what Puck scouted. I mean, he wants a ground army. This is a very old school. We haven't seen this really for months. The Glaive Stargate combination, like Phoenix Adept. Partially because Zerg players got so good at preparing, well, getting the Hydras out, getting the Banelings out. If you have all the pieces of the puzzle, it's really hard to find those really sharp timings as a Protoss player to really get damage done. The Oracles are hiding in the main. If Glaives and +1 complete, then Puck has the opportunity to pounce on a Zerg army. But they're not nearly done. There's not that many Oracles. Muscular Augment's about to complete. This attack about to blindside Puck. He has a grand total of 5 Adepts and 5 Oracles. Scarlett coming in only 55 drones, but that's plenty to be able to have this devastating mid-game push. Stasis wards dot the middle of the map. Good stasis so far. Catches some of the Banes. That's very important, but that's a lot of Hydras coming across the map. That's it. Scarlett. We'll take game 1. The timing far too sharp. Cuts right through. And looks like we're going straight to game 2. Well, that was a very decisive match. It kind of felt like Puck wasn't entirely sure what tech he wanted to go for until later on. It's hard until you get your third base up to have the resources to really go for the double Stargate Oracle and to get Adepts with Glaives. Like, he didn't really have the third base online. And the Oracles, like, he didn't have enough Oracles yet, and he didn't have any pieces of the ground army to really do damage with. So that ended up being kind of a rough trade, and Scarlett figured it out. Now, I don't know if she planned on doing that from the start, especially if she saw a Stargate opener, or if it was a reaction to something that was scouted, but either way. Very decisive, game-ending timing. And that's that. All right, game 2 going to be on Cerulean Fall. Here we go. Match 2. Winning the first one pretty convincingly, Scarlett in the bottom left. Puck putting all the pieces together, but not quite quickly enough. That was... Well, Scarlett had the direct counter. Pretty much, when you have these technical builds with all those oracles and engraved adepts, if you just hit before those things are done, then... Well, you saw what happened. Will we go for something a little more standard? Cerulean Fall is a bit of a larger map. Blue Shift, definitely not a great Protoss pick up against Zerg, because there's not a lot of choke points, there's not a lot of area. Okay. We are gonna resume from replay. That happens sometimes. As Blizzard... Oh wait, this tournament is sponsored by Blizzard, a very accomplished indie company. There you go, nailed it. But every now and again, you get issues. Puck restarting his game. So, the way the Starladder Ultimate Series works, we have 4 invited players: Neeb, Scarlett, True, and Masa. 4 of the best, if not the 4 best, in North America. And then you have 4 players who came up through the Starladder Amateur Series, which started from Bronze and worked its way up to Grandmaster. Future, Jardozer, Cuddlebear, and Puck. So what's going to happen? This is a Swiss round tournament. There are 3 regions. Collecting my thoughts. North America, Europe, and the CIS, the Russian language region. So each region is going to have a series of rounds where all the players essentially play one another, and we determine through a rigorous process of several rounds, who is the best from that region. And then they go into the playoffs, where all regions are combined, and there's over $7,000 of prize pool as well. Right now we're in the first round. There will be another round of games tomorrow. And then next week we're going to have 2 rounds, and then... Well, if you use the Starladder command in the chat, you can look at the Ultimate Series schedule, which I don't remember perfectly off the top of my head. But I'll be here casting for all of it. North America and the playoffs. Not Europe or Russian language. Alright. Looks like we're just gonna kick off the game again. And we've switched sides. I think both players agreeing. Resuming from replay at the 1-minute mark, not that big a deal. Gotta turn it off and turn it on again. A tried and true strategy for success. No, I like that song. Rip. I'll just go with this one. So Puck, gonna be back in a moment, but in this downtime, we'll talk about a little bit about GSL Super Tournament, which is coming up. Well, we're getting down to the final. This is the final 4, right? But it's going to be happening later tonight, 4 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm sure you'll all be awake for that. But some interesting turns of events. I struggled with phrasing that as well. Now let's bring that up real quick and talk about it. All right, so Super Tournament has definitely not gone the way I thought we were set up for another Maru versus TY final. I thought the likelihood was good. Just look at the bracket. Well, don't look at the numbers on the bracket, but look at the bracket. Maru crushing Rogue, but then Creator beats TY in an intense series. By the way, go watch Game 3 of that series. There are battle cruisers, and there are Tempests, and then nukes, and well, just go watch Game 3. If you haven't yet, go watch Game 3 of that series. Just know you might need a little bit of time on your hands. But then SOS beats Maru pretty handily. Maru making a surprising amount of buildings in his main base, which is a little bit uncharacteristic, and I think Khan contributed pretty heavily. Solar beats Stats 3-1. Dark Bunny. So now we have SOS, Solar, and Dark Classic. I think Dark will beat I think Dark's kind of on a tear right now. I think Dark will beat Classic. Now that we're here, I have to reevaluate my entire analysis of the whole bracket. But I think Dark will beat Classic, and then SOS Solar. Solar beats Stats, but SOS is a very different type of player. I'm not. Well, I don't want a mirror matchup finals, even though it could be quite entertaining. I'd love to see Dark versus SOS. I think SOS will probably beat Solar, actually, because he's just such a different player than Stats. But I'd love to see a Dark versus that, because Dark is a very dynamic player as well. SOS is all over the board. He's kind of like Haz if Haz could play macro. Dark, on the other hand, can play the kind of gotcha Zerg style that players like True and Impact like, but he can also play the hardcore, straight-up macro game style that's more like Scarlett or Rogue. So, speaking of Scarlett, looks like we're ready for try number 3. And getting into the match of this Starladder Ultimate Series Round 1 Swiss. Okay. A lot of words there. I'll work that. We'll get better. As the rounds go on, I'll get better at saying it. Alright. Jumping in. Third time's a charm. Let's hope Puck has upgraded from Windows Me. Looks like we're going to open up the same way. Scarlett going for the hatch first. Well, all signs point to it. The Overlord turning itself around. Puck setting up for the gateway expand. Wait, gas? First. Now, that's not... It is not necessarily like a heavy tech play. This is just what some players will do to even out their minerals. You put 1 or 2 in gas, you're going to get the assimilator anyways. It's going to happen. And you have to wait for the pylon to finish to make a gate. So some players opt to just get the assimilator and eventually put probes into it a little bit earlier. It's not like he's going to rush Dark Templar or something. No, it's just another way of going about the gate expand. Now, what do we see? I'd like to see just like a Stargate and Archon drop, something like that. I don't know if Puck, I don't know what matchups he's most confident in nowadays. As a Protoss, like, it probably hits Protoss the hardest if they're not as confident in a matchup. Like, Zerg, you have some fallback strategies you can go to. I mean, Roaches are always a great unit. Well, they're not, but in large numbers they can be. But Protoss, like, if you're lost in a matchup, like, for example, PvZ, you just can't figure out what tech path you want to go for. It gets really difficult to really focus on practicing that. Okay. Little bit of a lag spike. Let's hope Puck is, all right. I gotta focus up. There's a lot going on. No warp gate on the way yet. In order to be able to get the gas for a Stargate. Scarlett will definitely see that. She's definitely paying attention. Going for the third base as well. So, the textbook being followed here again. Third base for Scarlett, speed on the way. One in gas, one in gas. Stargate, double adept. And, oh, a chrono boost on probes. Double chrono boost on probes. Some players will hold their chrono to be able to use on the Stargate. And actually, I think he might have a chrono, but he's making sure he gets as many probes as possible out. The little details are what define players at this stage. Sometimes when you get players like this, especially if there's not going to be like a cannon rush or a baneling bust or something, it comes down to, do you decide to get a creep tumor? Do you get another inject? Where do you use your chrono boost, your pylon placements and timings? Like, the little details start to matter a lot more. Phoenix first. Oracle next? Yes. Puck, well, I think this goes for both players, but Puck can be a very emotional player as well. Like, Scarlett, not to the same extent, but I'd say she does have that attribute. Where if you're just not feeling good, like if you're feeling like you don't have the confidence or something's going wrong or there's a technical issue, that can really affect your game. So we'll see. If Puck isn't able to pick... also, Puck... the scores are wrong. There you go. Now, I'm sure that dozens of people will say that by the time the delay catches up, but you all know who won the first game. You were here the entire time, right? Oh, what is this? Big place. Is Puck mining gas? He is. There is no Twilight, though. This is an all-out attack. Does Scarlett know about it? He's sending a probe out. I don't think he actually wants to take a third. There might be a placeholder third on the way, but Puck is not... Oh, there was a Twilight. Okay. This is a mass glaive to depth follow-up. The third base, if he does end up making one, is going to be a placeholder. Scarlett continually scouting for it. A roach horn is on the way. So... There's the slight stench of cheese in the air, but she hasn't seen it yet. A warp prism, of course, an important part of this. Not mining these gases, they were just for show. Did Scarlett scout them? She did. So, that is a huge part of this. Seeing the double gas means it could be an Archon drop. Now, 12 roaches are on the way. The Robo at the front is a bit of a giveaway. Not necessarily a huge one, though. There's a lot of roaches coming up. Like, once we reach double-digit roaches, the Glaive to Depths, especially if they finish speed in time. Scarlett is making the right moves. She's got 60 drones already. That is a lot of adepts, but the roaches almost even in number. So, Puck is making one or two probe. Well, he's making one probe at a time, so it doesn't know... it's hard for me to see this working, is what I'm saying. But Scarlett has gone back into drones. It looks like she was preparing for an Archon drop. That's just enough roaches to shut down an Archon drop. You can't drop those Archons out anymore. But the shade is thrown. The creep spread will give some prior warning. One drone will die immediately. There aren't that many roaches. He's going straight for the base. Going for the heart of the swarm. Will there be a cancel? Goes straight through. There's only a handful of roaches at the back. You can actually kill those roaches. Okay. I had doubts, but it appears Puck is adapting to the situation. The roaches, they don't have speed done quite yet. They do now. They're going to be able to get back a lot quicker to deal with these adepts, but the damage is being done. Scarlett re-droned. After this, 14 more roaches are on the way. We have to remember that eventually a counterattack is coming. Not all the roaches will be killed off. Not by a long shot, but there's more adepts on the left side. They're not targeting the hatch. They will be in just a moment. The adepts shading through to the natural. They will cancel the shade, seeing a better opportunity for damage in the main. 17 drones have gone down thus far. Some transfuses keeping the hatch alive. Shade is thrown again right towards the natural. There's no defense. All the drones are stacked up there. The hatch gonna go down. Shade's away. Puck, very important keeping some of these adepts alive. Killing the third base. There's still 55 drones on the field, but killing a hatch, forcing out a ton of roaches. How many immortals at home? 0. Not very many immortals at home. Oh, Scarlett had a 4th already. So greedy, but also so important. Having that 4th and the ability to mine from it is a huge part of being able to continue and still be in a decent economic spot. She's not forced into trying to kill Puck right now, though there is a possibility of that. No upgrades on either side besides the glaives and speed. The force fields, not perfect. The Immortal now getting pulled into battle. More adepts coming in. All the force fields were used. There's no energy for any more. The Roaches trying to close the distance. The Immortal blasting through. Without that, this would be a complete stop by the Roaches. But the Oracle helping out as well. The Roaches beaten back, and Puck will hold the line with 59 probes to 59 drones. In fact, the Oracle on the chase. A Predator drone coming out to fight. But, oh, more adepts coming in. Some damage will be done. Adept shading from outside the net as well. Drones being targeted. There are more drones on the way, which means Roaches aren't popping out of those eggs. 2 adepts find their way into the main base. Shade being thrown towards the, well, now 4th. The Warp Prism survives. Immortals being built up again at home. 12 drones. Not enough to really reduce Scarlett's count. She's always building them. For better or for worse sometimes. Alright. So the forge is quite late. The smoke clears. A little. The shade is lifted. Scarlett's still with good creep spread, which means good vision of things like adept run-bys. 4 bases, 82 drones. Recognizing that despite Puck having a strong army, that really isn't an army that can attack on the creep. It can defend. It had all those tools, but the aggressive potential wasn't there. So able to get... Ooh, I love that choice. Swarm hosts. And that's one way... If you can have aggressive swarm hosts, that's the ticket. Because... Swarm hosts defensively, not as great, because they have a cooldown. Once the locusts are gone, they're dead weight, they're dead supply. They're not expensive, but they do slow down all your other tech. But if you're able to attack, if you're able to use a wave aggressively, and there's no attack from Protoss pressing at your door, then you're going to have another locust wave by the time they come across the map. But speaking of exactly that, here comes Puck. 141 supply. Charge is done. So is Glaives, but +1 just started. The swarm hosts in a precarious position. Oh, wait a second, Scarlett! The force fields, they're locked in! And that is not the greatest usage of swarm hosts. Oh, but target's down. Just, well, gets 1 sentry. A bit of a consolation prize there. One of these is real. Answer the secret question to pass. There's still a lot of swarm hosts with this. This is a scary Zerg army. A weird one as well. Swarm hosts, Ravagers, Roaches, and Hydras. Now, how does this shake out? Because the Locust being dropped at the front door, they're going to get almost full time. But, oh, the Stasis comes down! The Corrosive Bile tried to stop it. The Stasis is going to do a great job creating a force field in and of itself. The Swarm host will retreat. There's nothing left to do here. Is Storm done? Storm is not done or being researched, but there are some Templar. I don't know if Puck realizes that. This attack started so early. Another wave of Swarm hosts coming in. The Immortals are exposed. Some units unfrozen. 2 Immortals going to be taken out. Attacks on the other side. The Corrosive Biles will snipe down the Templar. Another... Oh! The Stasis field. The Stasis force field. The Corrosive Biles dodging, but not quite perfect. Not quite enough. Still an attack at the front. Some Locusts have recharged. The Swarm host continually adding on the pressure. Puck's supply dipping. Scarlett maintains. Hasn't taken any damage at home. 84 drones still. Going straight for the Nexus. It looks like the cannon should be able. And the shield battery recharges. There's still no Storm. There's no Storm! With Storm, I'd say... Okay, he's starting Storm. Oh, they're so important to have. Just goes for the Archons. Another wave of Locusts. The shields are down on the 4th. He's going to try to hold. And Immortal's exposed. Archon's coming up, but the Corrosive Biles will knock down the Nexus. And Scarlett looking in a commanding position to close out game number 2. More probes falling. I mean, with Storm, there might be one death ball push, but Scarlett continually laying on the pressure. This is the strength of offensive Storm host. Storm only halfway done. Wave upon wave flying across the map, right at Puck's front door, trying to hold on to the Templar, but holding on by a very, very thin thread. Another wave of Locusts. They don't have that much HP, but they get in the way and they do so much damage. Scarlett goes up 2-0. We'll see. Are we going to have another 3-0? Puck made some big moves with the Adepts did way more than I expected. That being said, they still didn't do enough because Scarlett, well, with the greedy 4th, so a double-edged sword. Scarlett took a super quick 4th base, which made the Adepts do more damage, but also allowed her to still have significant mining after the Adepts were killed off. So, which I think mattered more. All right. Game 3. Acid Plant. Not a bad map for the Protoss, but every map against Scarlett is a struggle. In the bottom right, Root Gaming's Puck, the American Protoss player. And on the opposite side, she actually joined Team Toland's Lions. At Toland's Lions, Tollenz. I'm looking it up right now. It's Scarlett, the Canadian Zerg. A fan favorite for sure. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, good to know. And this is the first round of 5 for the Ultimate Series North American qualifiers. The playoffs will be in a few weeks after we determine the best of each region through rigorous, 5 rounds where essentially almost every player will play one another. I'm not exactly sure all the details. I should really learn the format better, but I know we'll have a lot of opportunities to watch all these incredible players. Thank you to Starladder and Blizzard for sponsoring and putting this on and letting me be a part of it. All right, so no cannon rushes, disappointingly. It's going to be a gate expand with a scout off a Cybercore. Unfortunately, this isn't HAZ. I can't just follow the probe, and that tells the entire story of the game. Looking for a drone. Scarlett going out. Should have enough minerals just in time to prevent the block. And in comes the Zergling. Speed. Alright, there it is. Gotta look at the mineral. Hold everything off a gas. So Scarlett with a bit of a more economic opener. Now, obviously avoiding using the word greedy, but pretty greedy. Looks like it was slightly delayed gas in order to be able to get the third base a little quicker. First Adept gonna scout. Well, wants to find out whether or not there's gonna be any commitment to things like abandoned nest, roaches, all those other things that kill Protoss players in the first 5 minutes of the game. There isn't, but he can't know for sure. Oracle first is the choice. I think Puck recognizing that this is a little bit of a greedier build, a little bit less focus on getting the Zergling speed. So getting the Oracle, he might be able to find an opportunity for damage, especially combined with the Adepts. Overlord floats in, gonna see it. A Robo is the choice behind. Will we see a Twilight? The Adept shade into the main, but Scarlett very ready with the Zerglings. They're both gonna be shut down. Oracle waiting for its opportunity to strike. The probe was holding the wall in case of counterattack. The queens are there. The spore is up. The Oracle is warded away. There is a Twilight behind. 4 gates as well. Warp gate finishes. Now, what is the choice off of this? Puck, I think it has to be Templar Archives, right? But that's a bit late on the Templar Archives to combine with a drop. Not hugely late. Maybe he just wants to get a third base up, warp in some Adepts, that's fine. Templar Archives is actually very quick. It's exactly twice as quick as the Dark Shrine to complete. 36 seconds versus... How do I press the buttons? I don't... Well, 72 or 71. I'm not sure the exact number. Since we changed to real-time and Legacy of the Void, the numbers are now all... They're not random, but they're a lot harder to remember. Like before, a Dark Shrine took 100 seconds in Blizzard time. I'm not going to get too far into that. But in real time, that means 71 seconds, which is a lot harder to do math with. The double Archon drop coming in. It looks like Scarlett does have the response. There's actually 2 Spore Crawlers. The main base and Acid Plant definitely one of the most vulnerable. A lot of area to work with when it comes to drops. And 2 Spore Crawlers doesn't seem too much like an overreaction. But in come the Archons. They do extra damage to biological. That's why they're so strong against Zerg. And that includes all of the buildings, which are all biological as well. Oh. Forces the units back. Does some damage to the Spore here. It's not huge. Like, the Archon drop doing damage is great. But it's not required that, as long as you don't lose it and you keep the pressure on, you need to anchor the Zerg units at home. You need to keep them at home until you can build up a strong army on the other side. Ideally, if you can kill drones, well, by forcing out units, you're essentially killing drones because you prevented unit production. And also, by killing drones as well is another way to kill drones, fun fact. So charge is on the way. We're going to see Storm follow it up. It's going to be 8 gates, I believe, very early. Maybe even more. 5 Dropper Lords on the way. Scarlett, not super high on the drones, so maybe looking for some serious mid-game aggression. Drops, every race has the option for drops, not just Protoss and Terran. Overlord drops, definitely something we see Serral use to great success as well. Especially against Protoss. There can be a point when it feels like I cannot fight these Immortals anymore. There are too many Immortals. Well, don't. Fly into the main. Is that a fake? It's a fake! It's a fake! Or is it? I don't know. She might send some units out. I thought it was just going to go flying into the main to try to draw everything away. We'll find out soon enough. Muscular augments on the way. No group spawns yet for the Hydra, so it's going to be a bit before they come into effect. 72 drones. It actually looks like this is not a fake. This is going to be a real drop. There's not any vision in the corner of the base for Puck. Scarlett skyrocketing on supply, and without Storm, you got to get... Storm is such a big deal. Oh, that's so many Templar, and there's no Storm. You got Storm is so important. Storm! Gotta get Storm! 5 Overlords, 5 Dropper Lords on the way. Great force fields to start. The Archon drop. Oh, perfect. If there was one Storm here, he selects it. Oh, and he starts Storm. That hurts so bad. He really needed that. Oh my god. But still, the Immortal standing their ground. Great deflection from Puck on both sides. And it looks like this game he might actually have the opportunity to get that upgrade. Scarlett. Oh, triggers the Stasis Ward. Great moves. There's... Oh, gotta keep the Templar. If the Templar live... Ooh, losing the Oracle. The drop's still a threat. The War Prism! Gets away. No group spawns yet. Great force fields from Puck throughout. Really shaving off big chunks of units. And Scarlett not going for a hive. Doesn't have a huge economy. I don't believe there's a Lurker Den. No Lurker Den. It's going to be a Muta transition. I mean, Muta's at the right time. Oh, Storm is almost done. Archons. Okay, yeah, turns around. Puck gonna take his fourth. There's going to be a window. Now, it all depends on what Puck has on the table by the time the Mutas come out. Scarlett is not really banking money. So, I mean, I guess it could just be a few Corruptors to kill a Warp Prism, but that seems quite expensive. The drop coming out on the other side. But this is a scary army. Storm is done. Scarlett coming into the one location that doesn't have any defense, which is the very middle of everything. On the opposite side, the War Prism could be targeted down. There's not that many Hydras. The Storm connects. Attack on the other side. Another Storm connects. Beautiful force fields. But there's nothing to follow this up. The Immortals have to retreat. The Roaches and Hydras, they made it into the natural. 17 probes die. But so did a lot of Hydras. The water balloons coming out from the Templar. An Archon coming up. He's desperately trying to hold. Suddenly Puck at 96 supply. Losing fights on every angle and probes as well. 2 Hydras live. Scarlett continuing to batter down the defenses. How many Templar are left over? 4 Templar, 4 Immortals. But everything going wrong at once there. Scarlett just hitting every side. Very, very Serral-esque. 53 probes. Puck, if he could have kept that probe count up. But Scarlett hitting everywhere at once. The Storms look good. The start of the fight looking good for Puck. But as time went on, the Roach Hydra working its way through. The Robo is exposed. And now so is the fourth. Down goes the Prism. Mutas have joined the field. Storms will ward things off for now, but that's very temporary. Has to go into Archon. 4 Mutas, 6 Mutas. Can set off the Immortal shields as well. The Roach Hydra in the back. And the attack lurking in the front. A lot of Storms with this. Could be massive. Beautiful Storms. The attack at the front, but Puck doesn't have the numbers. And the Swarm prevails. Scarlett taking a 3-0 sweep. Pretty convincing. Puck showing some good moves in the last match, but Scarlett overwhelming. And that's a quick 3 matches for us tonight. There's one to go. And then tomorrow, same time, same place. After the matches are done, I'll be doing my normal boring stream with no delay. So there will be, well, you'll see. Wait, did we already play Cerulean Fall? Oh, wait, no. Oh, True versus Future. Now this, I thought, well, Scarlett versus Puck I thought would be kind of close. Unfortunately, not a great day for Puck, but he's got more chances. There are many rounds. True versus Future. Now, I want to talk more about Future. Okay. Future is a young Terran player. Young Terran players, historically. I'll name a few for you. Flash. Maru. That's a good list, right? Like, all starting very young. Future is right now... He's 16. He's 16. Same age as Rainer. And he started out like he's been playing for years. He's always been very good, but the problem with younger players, very headstrong. As many people know, at a younger age, people tend to be more confident in certain things despite having nothing to back it up. And Future was one of those players who, like, incredible micro, but not always accepting, like, this is kind of the strategy you need to go for in certain scenarios, stuff like that. But recently, over the last year, he's kind of rounded out his playstyle from what I've seen. And his micro is up, it's up there, all right? Like, maybe not Maru, maybe not SOS, but it's up there. And I'm actually very interested because True plays a very he plays Jardozer, which I'm still trying to come up with a better name, but the simple version is he's trying to catch you off guard. He'll make Zerglings when you're not supposed to make Zerglings. He'll make an extra he'll proxy a hatch, do a roach timing. He'll try to find a Nidus. Those are all on the table, and in fact, I'd say likely with someone like True. So, we will see. Going into the final match of round 1 of the Starladder Ultimate Series. Round 2 is tomorrow. And I think this will be, of all the... I said that last time, but I think this one will not be a 3-0. We're hoping. Side blades crossed. And here we go. Let me introduce someone you should be on the lookout for. In the top right, the American Terran. It's Future. Not sending SCVs out. I want to point that out. In the bottom left, the Korean Zerg player, but has been living in America and competing in the WCS circuit for several years. A member of Psystorm Gaming. It's True. Terran versus Zerg, the iconic matchup. There are high hopes riding on this series, based on how the rest of the day. See, we even got the colors right, guys. Everything's going great. They're blue and red. Every other match today has had some weird set of colors. Not to be colorist, but blue and red are the easiest to distinguish. And there you go. The Gotcha Zerg style. Pull first with gas. Now this is just... Oh, he's banking Narva. He's gonna make 6 lings. You dirty, dirty Zerg. But this is to potentially cancel a command center. He's not getting gas early enough that's a part of the build. That's a follow-up. But 6 lings, and he's gonna try to avoid a Reaper. In future, a lot of Terrans at the highest level will not SCV scout because their builds are mapped out to the mineral. And if you SCV scout, you have less minerals. I did all the math myself. So 6 lings, they're gonna sneak out and try to find an opportunity. Will Future be wise to it? I'm sure he's played True before. I'm sure. Future, a top 16 Grandmaster. And so is True, of course. Like, if they're on the ladder, they're gonna find one another. But he's going straight out, straight across. Will we actually see? True is taking a barely indirect path. Future's looking for it. He knows this is a threat. And it's very important the Reaper is not on the other side of the map because he's building a reactor. There are no other units coming. He's gonna catch the Lynx. Oh, big moves. And he sees him right off the bat. As long as the Reaper doesn't get caught now, he may have to bring down another SCV. But the command center, another SCV coming down. Will he actually... He'll let one Ling in and then lock it in. I'm not trapped in here with you. And slight delay on the CC, but this is... I'd say this is pretty great for Future. Doesn't lose a single... Oh, well, less great now. But he loses the Reaper, which is very dangerous against True. Even though this map not great for Reapers, there's no easy jump location in order to get the Reaper in, but now he's in the dark. And that's scary. There could be 30 more Zerglings coming, and he will not know. So that hurts, but if True doesn't do anything and Future just plays blindly, it looks like it's going to be a 2-1-1. As long as there isn't a Bane bus coming, and there isn't, we see that. He doesn't know that, we see that. Then he'll be fine. It looks like Future going to cut that corner a little. Overlord going to come in. Just based on the starport timing. The starport, if he was going for a 1-1-1, the starport would have been earlier. And there probably would have been a factory trying to get on that reactor. But the starport timing gives away to True. This is going to be the 2 Medevac, 16 stim Marine play. More Queens coming out. True is... Now, is this going to be a double NG bay follow-up? How greedy does Future want to get behind? He's really focusing on getting these Marines out in time. And I'm interested to see what he wants to do with the double Medevac drop. How conservative? Like, do you just drop on the edge of the creep and work your way in? Or do you try to dive and micro your way through? There's no Baneling nest for True. He's going to need to make a couple rounds of Zerglings, and he's already started on that. +1 Carapace is on the way, but that's a long way off. A single engineering bay to complete the wall and make him less vulnerable to run-bys as he comes out for the double Medevac drop. And now the fun begins. And this is all micro from here on out. Well, okay, I'm saying that very wrong. It's a battle of micro versus macro, because Terran behind really needs to add on production, or another base. Future's adding on a 3rd barracks, which means he wants to keep on the pressure. Now you see the type of Terran he is. Backed into a corner, the Medevacs are being targeted by the Queens, he loses some Marines. Not ideal here. Were any Queens going down? He did not lose any Queens. The transfuses come out, the energy's gone. Are there enough Lings to actually fight this? There are. He'll drop on the other side. Oh, that's... We're going back and forth with this. 12 more drones on the way for True. It's going to put him in a comfortable position. Behind this, Future is going all out on the attack. There is no 3rd command center. He opted for another barracks and a tank push. Now, True can't be 100% sure of that. He did make... Oh, the lair, actually. This is quite big. Future doesn't know it, but the lair is quite late. There's not going to be Baneling speed. There's not going to be things like Hydras. Baneling speed probably the biggest one, or +2 upgrades. So Future actually has a large window that he can potentially attack. Having a few tanks, combat shield +1, and several Medevacs against slow Banes, and if he can keep the creep back, oh, he's all out. Full aggression 2 base Terran. You know what? His command center can lift if he needs it to. But he's going up against it. Burrow is the choice. Double tanks on the way. He's pushed back the creep somewhat. There aren't that many tumors to dislodge. Stimming through. There are no Banelings. +1 Carapace is done though. Oh, he drops the tanks down right on top. What a weird fight we're starting out with. 1 tank sieges up. He's backed into a corner. All the Medevacs go down. Unfortunately, the 2nd tank not sieged up. And Future gonna be crushed. Kind of walking into the jaws of True. I was about to mention that +1 Carapace means that it takes 2 tank shots to kill a Zergling instead of just 1, because they have 35 HP, but +1 Carapace, and tanks do 35 damage. So it's a big upgrade to have on your Zerglings, and just in general, but especially against the tanks. But Looks like it didn't matter. So, pretty rough game one for Future. Future gonna take a 1 minute break before we go into the next match. The invited players, the tried and true professionals, taking a clean sweep so far, not dropping a single map in day one, round one of the Ultimate Series. Neeb, well, Masa dismantling Cuddlebear, Neeb slicing through Jardozer, Scarlett overwhelming Puck, and now True, well, deflecting Future. It's not over yet. But that was a rough start. This music is so sick. It's just the end game. I love when I put on StarCraft music, or like have the StarCraft music in the back. Is this the Warhammer soundtrack? Is this from Star Wars? Now that I said that, I'm just gonna get trolled with that all day. I should never have said anything. Oh, God. Anyways, game 2.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Acid Plant. Ladder Edition. That's what the LE stands for, by the way. If you didn't know. True, top left, Future bottom right. And hopefully Future can kind of just put that game out of his mind. Cerulean Fall. And I don't know how the map picks went, but I'd imagine that was True's. Terran's a little bit more confident on Acid Plant. A shorter rush distance. There's a very droppable main base. And it's a little tough for Zerg to take a 4th against a very active Terran. I'd feel a little bit safer on Acid Plant than on Cerulean Fall, which has such a long distance and so many open areas to the enemy base. Still no barracks on the map. Just will he break that out? We'll see. True gonna be chilling with his overlord at home. I guess he's just gonna look for any SCVs trying to come in. This is disgusting, by the way. I want whatever Game Time's graphical bug was that turned the water red. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up his command center. Yeah, this is a Hatch gas pool, so the standard, I guess the default build for Zergs for probably years now. And this is essentially the default build for Terrans. Reaper expand. But what other details are we adding? Yeah. He did go barracks into gas, which means he doesn't quite have the gas to get a factory and a reactor all at the same time. So we're going to add a marine on. Pretty nice for pushing away OVs early as well. The Reaper comes in. The Reaper tax will be exacted. Every time a Reaper comes in, it asks the Zerg to pay taxes. The Zerg says no! And then the Reaper says, well, you get death then. Which are one of the two most inevitable things. Oh, wow. He's just, okay. Okay, lots of death. But will he actually get out? Oh my god! Beautiful grenade! And he gets out of there. What a save! And gets 2 drones with it? That's a great start. You're gonna feel good about that, Reaper. And now it's time to go Hellions. Starport on the way. Are we going to see an armory added on for Hellbats? The tech lab coming up on the barracks. The Reaper doing his... Did it rack up another kill? It didn't, but it's delaying the third till 3:30. That's getting late here. The mom is calling that drone home. The queen is calling that drone home for dinner by that point. That's how late it is. Street lights are on. Okay, come back. No third base. Oh, and he gets the creep tumor. This Reaper, the value. All right, Future is on point this game. Let's see if he can keep it up. Speed Overlord's coming through. He does have speed. He's just going to chill there. He's chilling because he wants to see what's going to happen with that tech lab. Are you going to flip it over to the starport? Are you going to start stim? Wants as much info as possible, ideally without losing the Ovi. It's my favorite song. Third base on the way. Looks like Future planning to do a lot with a little. A handful of Zerglings coming out. True only on 34 drones. And doesn't have the Zerglings for counterattack. A little bit of a missed target there. Maybe could have gotten the creep tumors, but Future looking good. And he knows the queens are at the front. The Liberator's going to come in. There's no Spore, because he didn't think there was a Banshee. He thought it was going to be a Viking. Well, surprise, Liberation is at hand. The drones have to be pulled away, which means the queens are pulled back, which means the Hellions go forward. Looking for an opportunity. There are a lot of lings on here now, but that means the queen's not going to kill the Liberator quite as quick. Still warding him away. Oh, he looks for an opportunity to go through. There are some lings. Is he actually going to get damage done? He slides through the lings, and the Liberator's still going. 10 drones, 12 drones, 13, 14 drones. Now he loses all of these basic units, but 14 drones for Hellions and the Liberator, and he had no intentions of combining the Hellions with any sort of push. And he's got his third command center done. I think that is almost the perfect time to do damage. Right as your opponent, he doesn't have a lair. He's getting upgrades, but now he has to make more drones. He has to interrupt his, just his progression, his tech, in order to be able to get those drones back up. So I'd say a success for Future. So successful, he's like, maybe I need a bunker. Maybe he's just going to try to kill me. But still, that wasn't game-ending damage. 14 drones. He lost all those units. That's still important. Like, the Liberator's gone, the Hellions are gone. The 1-1 is on the way. It looks like True's 1-1 a little quicker. Oops, gonna try. Yeah, that's not enough lings, especially without +1 Carapace. Blair's on the way. And what is True gonna opt for when it finishes? The Baneling Nest is gonna be done. And a fourth base is coming up. True really droning hard, knowing that he got rid of all the harass units, but has he droned too hard? 1-1 is coming up. There is a tank push with 2 tanks on the way, and I think this has a much greater chance of success than the previous match. Has he scanned this base? He doesn't know about it, but he's just going to pressure it either way. This is a nasty position to work with as well. Oh. Caught between a rock and a hard place as your Zerg player here. A huge counterattack coming through. This could get crazy very fast. There is no wall here. A lot of Zerglings. He's going to need to pull the SCVs away. Very quick on the draw. The Marines stim forward. 4th base under fire. The run-by coming through. The SCVs holding the line. The Marines right behind them. Oh, Banelings at the back. Will we just try to target them down? It's just slow Banelings. They are on creep, but it's not enough. He can drop those Marines right back down. The counterattack will be cleaned up for the most part. The 4th base still under fire. There are some transfuses, but will we try to save it? He saves it for now. The 2 tanks continue to shell from afar. There is +1 done across the board. He's going to redrop. 14 SCVs went down during that counterattack. So a pretty big hit to Future's army, but doesn't slow down his macro. 2-2's on the way. 4th base under fire again. He's trying to wrap around with the Zerglings. Is he just going to go for the counterattack, or is he going to try to crush this? He's on the other side. The Zerglings are going straight for Future's base. The Marines are railing out. That's not where they want to be. The tanks are unsieging. Not really what they want to be doing either. Future caught in no man's land. The wall comes up just in time, but unfortunately the SCV's left out to dry. He needs to redrop this base. He needs to put on pressure. If he doesn't kill the 4th, this has been too much damage. The wall has been opened up. Most of it is breaking down. The attack on the other side. A couple more transfuses. He's really trying to get rid of this. The Zerglings as they trickle out. So much damage being done. A Slugfest gets the 4th, and he keeps the medevac and most of the Marines alive. A key part of this right now. We're in a lower economy game. A Slugfest so far. The Depot's taken out on the other side. 2-2 slightly quicker for Future, but True is continuing his way up the upgrade path. All right. 58 to 46 in the way of workers. That happened. That drops on the other side. True with a bit of a supply lead, but he doesn't have a kicker here. Dangerous game, but the 2 tanks will escape. A big part of this army. The rocks. Gotta be careful. Don't want the banelings to hit the rocks. 2 more tanks is the difference between defending the 3rd and just getting run over. There's no Hydra Den. There's no infestation pit. There's no Spire. There's just Burrow on the way. True on this heavy lair tech, the swarm tech. Future just trying to get his depots back up, to be honest. Has he looked for any of those bases on the side? There's no anti-air. The drops will go untouched. He's going to see these rocks being taken down. There's also a counterattack on the left side. True is preparing a 2-pronged attack. There are 4 tanks ready. This one at the wall, the double drop. Are there banelings with it? Indeed there are. Future not done with 2-2. The banelings coming up. Will we try to target? He's just going to pick up, it looks like. Goes over the top, loses a few. Oh, the wings coming in. Actually, not a huge deal. Beautiful save. Future finishing 2-2. He's got a bit of a window here, but Burrow's about to complete. He's actually lining up an attack on that right side. True has maintained any burrows to block. So will the Burrow be that decisive factor? Wings and Banes, but it looks like he has enough to defend right now. Yes, he blocks. But True not done with 2-2 yet. This is a great timing for Future. There's no Banelings with this right off the bat. He's going to try to target down the Marines on the run. Banelings crashing into tanks and Future. Oh, that was such an obvious burrow. Did he see it? Does he have a scan? The Wings and Banes from the back. The tanks holding the line. The tanks tanking themselves. This burrow, like, really? Really, though? If that works, I swear. I don't know if he was watching at that exact moment. A scan at the back. He sees a burrowed Bane. You're not going to expect it right there, though. If that's how this... But... Oh. A single Bane out on the map. They're scattered around. He now knows that's a threat. +3 attack is on the way. True loses another 4th base, but he has one popping up where that came from. 144 to 113 supply. It's getting to the point where a Miracle Bane is all that True really has on the table. Once again, Ling Bane trading against Marines, Medevacs, and tanks. You can trade and trade and trade, but oftentimes it's worse for you. A lot of Lings on the other side, but Future ready for this. He's played True before. He knows how this works. Knocks it down. And Future going forward. That's a lot of Marines. He's got 72 on the map. That's more than there are Lings. A lot more Banelings. He's hoping for a Burrow Bane hit. The Medevac's overworked. He's going to build some more of those. He's going to bring a couple tanks up. He's being patient. I don't know when the last time... He doesn't know if there's a hive, but based on the economies, how many Lings and Banes he's been making, I think Future's pretty confident that that's not a huge threat. 3 more tanks to reinforce this push, maybe close it out. Alright, the tanks getting up into a dangerous position. They're now going to be threatening the hatchery. A big surround prepared from True, but does he have the simple numbers? True not coming in yet. He's trying to hold on. He's trying to get more reinforcements, but the 4th base is under fire. Counterattack by the Lings on the other side. Counterattack from the south as well. The Banelings rolling through the front. Tanks holding the line. Off a creep now are the Banes. The spread is beautiful. I can't believe it's not butter. Lings trying to close the distance, but the Banelings going to be targeted down. And suddenly, only Terran remains. Future. Looking like he has a future truly in this match. Terran through the front. The 4th base is free. Another round of Banelings, but even if all... There's no follow-up. There's no Ultralists. There's nothing coming. It's just Lings and Banes. Future now has an economy. He's got +3 on the way. He's stamping out bases left and right. Another round of Banes. When Marines are chasing Banelings, you know that's a bad situation for a Zerg. The Banelings are rolling through, but the tank is on point. Will he split? He micros back. Oh, okay. Well, that's dangerous. None of these. Don't let them touch you. Don't let them touch you. The splits. He's microing back. going for the SCVs. 8 SCVs. Pretty big hit, but True dipping in supply. The scans all over the place, picking up some of the tanks. He knows now. This is the only 4th base left. The 3rd base is even starting to mine out. True has nothing left behind this. Those Marines. Ooh, they need to go to the doctor. Or maybe rehab. Maybe both. The medevacs come over. It's gonna take a... Well, that's the start of something. In the classic scan after getting hit with a burrowed bane. But that's not enough. +3 is done. Now that would be... He's just pre-spreading. And then unspreading. A dangerous game. Like, True's like, no, I need bigger than that. Big money. All the way. All in. Pushes all the chips. He keeps staring at it. Look at his... Let's go to the True cam right now. Okay. Well, he's not staring at it now, but he's counterattacking. More scans coming through the counterattack. Good. Is it good enough? The Lings at the base. True's... He's fighting. But... It's an uphill battle. He gets a burrowed Ling under the CC. It looks like Future coming through. 3-2. The upgrades. The Banelings are on creep, but the tanks are holding the line. The Terrans converge. And Future will give us our first series, not a 3-0 today. It took... The American Terran fighting back strongly, even from the first Reaper that game. I won't say it looked dominant, but it looked strong. Very decisive from Future, what he wanted to do. True kind of scrambling to find damage, and finding it sometimes. Like it wasn't a perfect game from Future by any means, but all the things he was trying to accomplish. I'm trying to kill this 4th. I'm trying to push this location. I'm trying to establish my 3rd. He was able to pull them off without too much delay. Alright, we're going into map 3. Fracture. Yeah, Fracture is actually like, if that went poorly for True on Acid Plant, Fracture is a map that tank pushes. Like, a tank that comes down the 3rd base ramp almost, well, reaches about half the middle of the map. The middle ground is very small. There aren't that many bases, which usually points to a Terran map. But not... I mean, True doesn't play that more standard style of Zerg. You even saw it there. Just, I don't know how much the focus on Ling Bane was a stylistic choice. I think it was more of a, oh my god, I'm going to die if I don't get Lings and Banes kind of choice. We've all been there. But it's a losing battle. Alright, in the top left, Psystorm Gaming's True. Bottom right, Rise Esports Future. Looking good. Future are... Now the way Ultimate Series works, just to reiterate, 8 players from each region. You've got the North American region that I'm covering, the European region, which Wardy is covering, and then the Russian language region, which is where Starladder originated. Alex007 is covering that, and also he's the one who organized the whole thing, so shout out to him. And of course, Blizzard sponsoring. But what's going to happen? There's going to be 5 rounds where each of the players essentially will play each other to determine who is truly the best. And either 2 or 4 players will move on to the playoffs, where all of the players from all the regions will play each other. Players like Serral on the other side. And myself and Wardy will be covering that in English. And that will be in a few weeks. So tomorrow night we'll have another round of games. But Future, there were 4 invites and then 4 players qualified by being the best of the amateur series. The amateur series was a series of tournaments, believe it or not, of amateurs of every level. Bronze all the way up to GM, and if you won your level, you moved up. Now, you started wherever your ladder rank was, so these players starting in Grandmaster started at the end. In future...
Yes, yes, yes. Just as I deserve.
Thank you for the $100. Go ahead, you enjoy. Thank you. Pays to not play, right? But Future is the only player to win a game tonight thus far that was not invited. Neeb, Scarlett, Masa, and True were all invited because of their prior accomplishments in playing StarCraft, obviously, in WCS. Future, Jardozer, Cuddlebear, and Puck qualified through the amateur series. All of which are Grandmaster, top Grandmaster players, but not as accomplished in WCS. So, we're kind of getting a look at the up-and-comers here. And I think Future Puck has always been consistently very good. And sometimes in that list of players, like top of North America. But Future, I think, is the closest to... Like, I think you'll see him in WCS next year. And I think that last game showed you a little bit of why. Alright, now that I've got all my talking out of the way, let's talk some more. A Roach Warren's on the way. True's doing it. He's going for the gotcha. Will Future be ready? Because Hellions, not great against Roaches. Not great. But the... Future... He gets it! He sees the Roach Warren! He sees speed on the way! He sees one gas! He sees no queen! He sees everything! And immediately True starts making drones because he's been found out. That's all you need to know. Wings on the way, Roaches. This is still a dangerous attack, even though he saw it. Like, you have to prepare. Marines being built, a Cyclone. Can't be losing any Hellions either. Every point of HP. Ooh, the Marines come out. Doesn't want to lose the Marines before the bunker finishes. Ooh, that's rough. The Reaper. Is the Reaper dead? The Reaper's still alive, but he might have to give up the natural. So unfortunately, if he gets the Marines in the bunker, I think he can hold on to it. But with a Cyclone, and he's building a Banshee, a strong choice. Oh, the Reaper doing damage on the other side. Going to work. Our Queen is out. And more damage will be done here. So this isn't stopping here. But the Reaper! On top of it. He's just trying to target down units. The boys are pulled. You gotta be very careful with that. He needs to keep the Cyclone alive as long as possible. Unfortunately, I think he was microing the Reaper on the other side. Ooh, this is getting a little dangerous. This is doing more damage than really it should. There's still enough Roaches here. The Banshee is out finally. The SCVs, they want to go back to the mineral line. It's dangerous out here. He's just gonna finish it off. Okay, yeah, this... It still did damage. It's still... True and expert at that. Now, this leaves us in an odd spot. A lot of damage was done. He lost 8 SCVs, which doesn't sound like a huge amount, but when you only had like 25 to begin with. But there are 2 orbitals, and he is building strong tech units. Like, he has the 111. So he has access to all these strong tech units, which means the Zerg, if they want to play economic, they really don't have any attack potential. So True, while he's going to have a lot more drones for a while, and now he's building wings, mostly because I think he's scared of dying, doesn't really have the ability to attack. Now being True, he might find the ability to attack. But Future, will we see a 3rd CC? I think with this, you build a 3rd CC. At the same time, like, Future can't really do an all-out attack. It's way too risky. What would you even do? Pull the boys or something? He can only build so many units. This might end up being a mech game. I'm not sure how accomplished Future is with mech. Big Zergling counterattack. There are 3 Hellions. It entirely comes down to Future's reaction time here. Oh, the Hellions. Oh, no. Oh, no! The Hellions! They scramble. The panic moves. But unfortunately, True finds that moment, that opportunity, that one shot, and he does capture it. The repairs coming through. One of the Banshees taken out while distracted on the other side, but 5 more SCVs. That's rough. And this time it's going to be a lair, and this feels like the perfect opportunity for a Spire play. Now that he's killed off those Hellions, he sees the Cyclones. Oh, and a Zergling gets in. Oh, everything going wrong. He could just go Roach Ravager. He's making more links. What's the choice? It's a Spire. He's inspired. Okay, that second counterattack, it was okay. But the second, that definitely slowed Future down more than the first one. Because the first one, nobody really has a lot of tech out. It's not a big deal. That one slowed Future down to the point where the Spire's going to finish and he can't attack. Oh, God. Yeah, this is really rough. He might see the Spire. Does he? Oh, my God. He does not. There's still a lot of Queens. The quintessential defense and offense. There is a wall at the back. This is an easier wall than most. Armory is done, but even the Queens alone might be enough here. And that Spire. Oh, and that Spire, might I add. The wraparound gank in the mid lane. I mean, he's pinned up against those like ice pillars. But will Future actually? Oh, will the cycle? Will they all live? Oh my God! Not even close, baby. Oh no. The answer is no. I mean, that's a lot of damage, but the Liberator. Will he see the Spire? If he can get 2 Thors out, like, oh, does he see it? He sees it. He sees the Spire. That was his only chance. He's got to build Thors. He's building, what is this? Mech bio? Biomech? He's building +1 infantry weapons. But what do you, I think he plays bio so much. Like, I think he's really heavy on bio. I might be entirely wrong. I might just be talking out of my ass here, but he's such a heavy bio player, like reflexively getting +1. I mean, the Banshees are going to try to come in. They'll get like 2 hits. Kill 1 drone. There's not that many drones. There are, I mean, this is a hard, this is rough. This is real rough. But, I mean, the Thors, he's building, true, this happens a lot. By the way, this happens because these players are so good. You might be like, true, you don't need 2 Roach Warrens. Well, he forgot he built the first Roach Warren because this game has taken, that's how you know this game has gone sideways. When players are building like a second Twilight or a second Roach Warren or a second Armory, stuff like that. Like,
Good. Now I have your
he canceled the
attention.
Roach Warren at the last second. All right, here come the Swarm hosts. $33 SCVs remain, which is not enough SCVs. He doesn't have any metavacs to ferry the Thors around. Swarm hosts a beautiful choice in a scenario where your opponent is pinned back in their base, especially on 2 bases. I mean, he's got a 3rd command center, but he's also down by 80 supply. So, I'd say he's pretty pinned back in his base. He's going forward, but this is not going to go well. Are there any other units? He has 10... There is a scenario here where somehow the Locust Wave goes awry. Alright? Where it does not do anything. And there are no other units. Like, he has more Swarm hosts. Okay, that's not gonna happen. That's not happening here. The Hellbat's coming in. Does he actually... Oh, unfortunately. Well, Hellbats are not bad against Swarm hosts. Mutas, well, this is happening. Just pull the boys. Yeah, the boys are on the way. Just send them. It's time. Oh my God, so many Swarm hosts. And he's got them staggered. He's got to get close. He's got repair the Thor. Repair! Repair! The boys have to save the day. Nope, they don't. True will win with the off-center Zerg. There was awkward timings that Future just was not ready for, and he takes it. Future now has an uphill battle. Got to win 2 games in a row. This could be our last match of the day. But remember, same time tomorrow, we're going to have another round of matches. And I hope I'll figure out the format well enough, as I struggle to speak, by that time. Future, he's lost. He's lost too. But will he be able to find an opportunity for victory here? We're moving into Lost and Found. Once True is ready.
My heart was on fire, but you let me burn. You got me wired, now there's no return. No. You took my heart,
Here we go.
you took my soul. Rip me to pieces.
All right, Future. I'm a little biased. I'll admit it. Can't cast well if you're not invested, right? I'm always just invested in the success of esports, specifically StarCraft, and seeing some great games for the fans. Thank you, Blizzard, for sponsoring Starladder. With that, let's move into a game number 4. In the top right, the American Terran from Rise Esports, down. Needs to win from here. Future. And in the bottom left, the Korean Storming the WCS circuit, moving to America years ago to compete. Part of Storm Gaming, and I think currently living in the Storm Gaming house. Not sure exactly this moment, but generally it's true, and that's in Virginia.
Good. Now I have your attention.
With the pull and gas, and so here we go again. A little bit of gotcha Zerg. I'm kind of feeling like, will Future SCV scout? It really, like, it feels really bad. I'll tell you right now, as a Terran player, losing, I'm not saying like what True did was easy or unskilled. Those are useless words said by people who are just looking for a scapegoat. But it's just the general way he plays. The gotcha Zerg style, it's like, oh, I guess you have 30 Zerglings. I didn't prepare for that. Because you should have been droning, but you didn't scout, did you? Surprise, 30 Zerglings. Now, if you shut it down, feels great. You're like, aha, not today. Not today, my Zerg friend. But a lot of the time, you don't shut it down against players of this caliber. And here they come. 6 Zerglings. Just answering a quick question that seems to be a constant source of misinformation in the chat. Those are the Amateur Series winners on the player page. They won the Amateur Series, and now they're competing in the Ultimate Series. If you look where it says winners. Not right now, but on the other page. Uh-oh. The Lings get in. And this is the side of the map where you can't just hard wall off. The boys will have to be pulled. How many will die? The Reaper on the other side. Okay. 1. He gets 1. He's going for 2. 2 is okay. 2 is all right. The Reaper, no kills, but it looks like it will live just barely. Oh. And the Reaper might take 1 back. No. The other Queen coming down. I'd say an amicable defense. And he didn't delay the CC building. But the Reaper comes down. He realizes there's no big follow-up. There's not like roaches coming, but... Now, on this location, this little pervert pillar, where the overlords can see and not be seen themselves, unfortunately, there is a high ground right there, and you can see them. They're right there. So, true, maybe a misstep there. And losing an overlord this early hurts pretty bad. Like, it really cuts into, because you need to spend your larva as quick as possible so the larva respawns off the hatch, so you have more larva to build more drones with more money, etc., etc., etc. You see how the game works. Future going straight into a heavy bio build. And also, I'm rooting for Game 5, so we're on Future's team. Ling is on the way. 16 Lings. That's not a passive amount of Zerglings. That's a dangerous amount of Zerglings. I mean, he might be scared of the Hellions, but this seems like he does want to go. Yep. If you want to play defensive against Hellions, you get 8-10 Zerglings. You use them to muck up the Hellion AI. This is gotcha Lings, but guess what? Future, not going to get... Well, he has no units right now. If he walls this off in time, it comes down to whether he walls this off in time and whether the Hellions are microed, pretty much. He is making 5 Marines at a time. Oh, the Hellions. They're in position. True's waiting for his moment. The Hellions are looking for exactly this. A single scouting Zergling coming in. More Lings. True is just... He's gambling. A little gamble. Are there more Hellions where that came from? I mean, more... Oh, he's going for the wall. Here come the Lings. Beautiful reaction time on Future. Incredible. And he's got Marines. The perfect choice. This gets shut down. Slam shot at the door. Not a single SCV will fall. In fact, I'm not sure if a single unit died. And now True has 33. Well, you double down. All right, hit me again. I'm putting all my money on Zerglings. Now he's gambling that Future will be like, you wouldn't do it again. Oh. The potential bait. There are 4 queens. He is droning behind. There is +1 carapace. The Ling gets in. That's unfortunate. He might be able to block. Oh. Raise the depot. Uh-oh. 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 Surprise! You didn't think those would be there. Does he drop the tanks out to help? He does. The attack at the front. Thankfully, the depot was up. It looks like with a little bit of fancy micro. Oh, the repairs coming through, but the wall is falling. He's gonna get through a depot. True gets in. The boys have to be pulled again. A constant source of civil strife. I didn't know where I was going with that. But Future still has 40 SCVs. That was rough. Unfortunately, the Lings did get in, so not a full shutdown there. That definitely did some damage. But he can shrug it off. He still has tanks, medevacs, stim Marines with +1. There's a lot of high energy queens. I mean, it really depends on the initial tank shots here. Does he get them off? Like, oh, you gotta siege up those tanks. You gotta siege up those tanks. The Lings are coming around the back. Oh my god. I think he doesn't want to get caught. He's not sieging up because he doesn't want to get caught. He's like, you know what? I'm not risking it. He tries to find a little position. On the other side. Of course the Lings are on the other... Oh, no. Oh, no. Not again. Not again! Deja vu! Oh, my God. At least he can raise the depot. The attack on the other side. The tank's trying to move forward. There's a half a dozen queens ready. Going for the save on the other side. He saves. Attack. True. Not hitting the transfuses. He does now. More Lings coming up. Where are all these Lings coming from? Future must be asking himself. But because there's only 44 drones, he scans. There's more drones than he expected. The lair just now starts. True just keeps making Lings.
Good. Now I have your attention.
He doesn't stop. At some point, you just close the door and say, no more. No more, True. Get off my lawn. I think he saw the medevacs coming out, though. Now, does Future go for the main? An Overlord will see it. He's still making Lings. He's lost 115 Lings, and he's going 200 Lings in 8 minutes. Oh, he's gonna see this. The Lings aren't moving. Well, the Overlord saw this. He tries to dodge back. The Queen not biting. Future. Lings can't shoot up, thankfully. They can't fly either, even though they have wings. They're the chickens of the StarCraft world. Still, now he's got 3 tanks, medevacs, and a hard wall. One done for both sides. The Baneling nest just started. There are no... If he just has enough Marines, he can hold the line. Is there an armory? He did build an armory. The 2-2 should start presently. He's pulling back. Yeah, there it is. +2. Getting there. Need the minerals, need the gas. And now this is force. Picked apart one by one. But if all this is brought together, True does not have the forces. 108 Zerglings are not enough. Suddenly, a dangerous game. There's a lot of... There are so many Zerglings. But are there enough? The attack is going to come from the north. A lot of the Marines getting deep in the paint. Oh, the Lings! He's coming back, trying to save the tanks. The Lings are spreading out, but the Marines gunning them down. He's going to go for the save on some of the tanks. Actually, unsieges. A counterattack. No, the wall is shut. The way is shut, and the Terrans keep it. Future held on. Oh, but there are Banelings now. He needs to target those Banes. The splits at the back, the target fire, the wraparound gang. Oh, a few Banes get close. He targets the other ones. Going, stutter stepping back, sniping Banes off. Gets 1, gets 2, holds the line with the Marines. Terran forward. The reinforcements on the way. Future tilts the supply lead in his favor, and he's down 20 workers. Baneling speed just now started. He's starting to kill drones. He's in a corner and will retreat to join up with his reinforcements. The Ling count has dipped. He's lost 250 Lings in this game. Still, Banelings, slow Banelings though, easily targetable even on creep. And not enough of them to be that dangerous. He's like, no, none of this. Sieges up the tanks right in his face. The Lings are counterattacking. I think he's ready. The reinforcements trying to get cut off, but the Marines not to be stopped. Well, with Baneling speed and +2 Carapace, they might be stopped if he doesn't get the spread. Baneling speed not done, +2 Carapace not done before this fight starts, though. That could take him off guard. Well, the +2 Carapace is done, but the speed, so important. Stutter stepping back. He's running off the creep. Holding the line. And now he's just gonna... Baneling speed, seconds away. True, making more and more Banelings, but they're more and more desperate. Future does not have a third, but his buildings can fly. Baneling speed in a second. That could take him by surprise. It's a dangerous game. Oh, the target! Ooh, not quite enough. Loses a few more than he needed to there, but almost perfect targeting. Future does have +2 attack, which is counteracting True's +2 Carapace. The Banelings crash into tanks, tanking damage. The Marines well spread. The Liberators raining freedom down, a Venn diagram of liberation. There's not enough transfuse to save you from this. And down they go. True down to 80 supply. He's lost 340 Zerglings this game. He just kept making Lings, and it was working up until it didn't. Oof, another medevac. Future's still fighting it out. He's drawing up on his bases, but now True is barely mining. Oh God, Banelings are scary. It's getting kind of sad when 4 Zerglings are your counterattack force. There isn't a third. Wait, does he have Burrow done? He does not have Burrow. There's nothing. He's just praying for the Bane hits. We're watching a Zerg die. Well, hopefully. I mean, probably. Unbiased casting. I mean, there's gonna be one more wave of Banes, and then... Future has adapted with the counterattacks. This is happening. He's floating his main. He scans the base in the top left. He can send the Liberator up there. I mean, Future with an abundance of caution. The Liberator going to work on what few drones there are. Banelings being taken out, even saves the Marines. True, maybe collecting himself for the next match. The decider. We might have our first... I don't know if I'd call it an upset. True, definitely one of the... Well, Neeb and Scarlett, by far, I'd say, the most accomplished players. Masa is strong as well. Masa and True, definitely, of the invited players, the more vulnerable. In Future, probably the best of the amateurs who qualified. Amateurs. Another counterattack. Another shutdown with beautiful splits. Ow. All right, True. All right, True. It's that time. Future breaks through. We see True a very momentum-based player. I mean, that's what happens when you just keep making Zerglings. If you don't have momentum, the Zerglings keep doing nothing. If you do, they keep getting damage. Whereas Future, once he's able to stabilize, seems very comfortable with how to handle himself. Blue Shift. Ooh. A spicy map. Smaller. Future loading in. Well, once Future loads in, we can get into this. This will be the last match, but we're going to do it all again tomorrow with another set of matchups between these players. So make sure to tune in, same time. And then after these matches, we'll summarize the day. I'll turn the stream off, remove the delay, and then Future needs 5 minutes, he says. We're going to take a breather. Give me a few minutes. Freezing the kicker, but also Future is still in school as well. Okay. So who do you guys think? I'm gonna go get some more water as well while he's taking a quick break. I mean, it's been a pretty intense series. You gotta take breaks sometimes. Thank you guys for watching my coverage. I hope you've enjoyed so far. By the way, Lucky Jawa, thank you for 4 months. Mika Joras for joining us. Tortured Paladin for 16 months. Bounty Hunter 501st for the Prime sub. Jack Irk, I don't know how to say that, for 2 months. Glad you enjoy the casting. Stars, Alpha Team for 9. Shokaku 2037 for 10 months. Oigawan, extra special thank you for 100 Dirty Esports dollars. Very glad you enjoyed the casting. Shanice 101. David, Thanks, David. The tier 2 sub for 11 months. Elite 64 for 13. Misha for 16. Doshia 213 for joining us. Pagriba for 2 months. Valhalla 116. Welcome back. Bizzard 4. Apo 0 for 2 months. Luminaire Fox for 5. Felix 263. Ford Racer 2007. But can we calm down a little? And Big Nuts on your chin. Thank you for joining us. Ecstasy Eternus for 31 months. Thank you, guys. And I'll be right back just a moment. This true or future take. I'll be right back. One sec.
Take 10 steps back. Close your eyes and listen. Look from somewhere different. I know that I've been slipping. I fold my tie and ribbon to hide my scars. That's how it starts. Ooh, I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Yeah. Told you so. Yeah. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I told you.
I now realize there's a bit of a delay, and that was a dumb idea. So let's just say it's even. 50-50. As we go into Game 5.
Good.
Future's back.
Now
I'm
I
back.
have your attention.
Everybody's back. And we're ready to go. In the top right. Let me do the score thing. In the top right. One of the strongest Zerg players competing in North America for Storm Gaming. It is true. And in the bottom left. A man with a bright himself from Rise Esports, its future. A suspicious lack of proxy rexes today. Another poll first. Yeah, I'm looking at you guys like, oh yeah, maybe the poll was a, maybe I should have. Yeah. Anyways. It was intentional. I did it on purpose. So there is a gas fill up. This seems kind of similar. He's saving up how many larvae? Looks like it's gonna be 2. Is he? Wow, what a mix-up. 2 larvae. So a total of 4 lings. Wait, what? A queen. I'm great at commentating, guys. Believe me. Okay. Nothing else. Just a queen. An overlord. Okay. So no lings. He just wants the queen earlier. And maybe Zergling speed a little quicker. SCV scouts in. I'm not sure, like, if he just suspected there would be an SCV scout, or if this was the plan all along, but gas is here. The queen being here already gives away the timing of the hatch, the queen, the gas. That's all the information he was going to get. I mean, maybe there's a small chance there's a roach war in there. SCV just going to chill at the watchtower. At least tap it on the way by. But this has been a quiet start, and it looks like it will continue to be. We actually haven't seen any Vikings come out, like early Vikings, to kill overlords. Future's been heavy on the aggression, especially the 2-base aggression. I mean, so has True, essentially. He might get 3 hatches, but he's been really heavy on essentially a 2-base economy. Just making a lot of Zerg. I would love to know throughout all 5 of these games how many Zerglings True has made. It's easily over 1,000. Alright, the 3rd base on the way. Reaper gonna get a little scout. Was just making sure that there are no lings sneaking in back at home, but once that is established, going into the main, getting all the info. And it's going to be a Coke Banshee fodder. Oh, popping the queen, unfortunately, to the wrong side. Did he see that? He scouted as much creep as he could, and he caught a glimpse of that roach warren. Does True cancel? Because this is a great... Having a Banshee. So a Banshee is in the air, and it shoots down. Roaches are on the ground. They can't shoot up. So, great choice against roaches. But it looks like True, upon being scouted, and also on scouting the Tech Lab starport, probably not going to go down the roaches route. He's adding on a lair, spore crawlers, and just more drones. Now, what comes out of the lair is the question. He's really piling it on. He's making more queens. Not that many more queens. I don't think it's going to be a Nidus, but that option is on the table. Probably not, because he has 51 drones and counting. So what's the play? Adding on some gas now, but take note, not taking a second gas until he had 50-something drones. My Zerg friends out there. Lair is done. He's building an Overseer, getting roach speed. Now, roaches are definitely something... Well, you can counter roaches hard, but you gotta know exactly when they're building them and where they're going. If you get blindsided by a couple dozen roaches, that's how you lose games and you feel bad about it. Overseer will just continue sending strong words to the Banshees and backing it up with the Queen's action. No, we don't like you. Get off. Get out of here. Get out of here. Zerg only. Zerg only. It's been Zerg only since 0 seconds into the game. Okay, that was going to be funnier in my head. All right, there was... Well. See what happened to your friend? Aspire. True to himself. The kind of off-center... Wait, did he cancel the roach speed? He did. I don't know if there was a scan or... So it looks like it's going to be mutas and lings. I'd love to see some sort of, like, corruptor build. But... Future's building up to... He's actually taking a quick third. We haven't looked at him much this game. Because he's just been building up a solid marine tank force. There weren't even... Were there Hellions built at some point? No. He just kind of skipped the Hellions. Straight to the Banshees and Barracks production. I'm not sure how successful. Like, this is a full-on macro game here. I mean, True has done some fancy things manipulating his tech, but overall, I mean, a little bit of Banshee harass, but... True is at 75 workers. And his upgrades are quicker than Future's. But at the same time, if Future gets the scout... Oh, does he see it? He's gonna see the Bane Nest. And, oh, he's so close! He's gotta have an idea, right? Like... I don't think he does. If the mutas fly in, and there are no turrets, and no Marines in position... Oh, that's how games go downhill real fast. Oh, he doesn't know. Here come the mutas. The forward depots might actually scout it, but that's barely any time to react. The double drop going out at the worst possible time. Surprise! Mutas! Gonna start working on things. Start killing SCVs. He's got some to spare, but he's got to be very careful. Turrets being thrown up in all the bases. The armory about to complete. The mutas got to get some damage done. It goes both ways. If True doesn't get damage done with the mutas, and Future's done a great job of reacting to them. If he's not able to keep Future at home, to maybe get some SCV kills, ideally some tank and medevac kills. If he doesn't do a significant amount with this, then Future builds up an army, and mutas are not fighting units. They do not want to fight. They want to win. And that means taking pickoffs, doing harass. Just the fact the mutas are on the opposite side of the map is good for True. That's not always something you can get, because the best defense against mutas is a good offense, because they're not great fighting units. But at the same time, he's lost two SCVs. Future not slipping on his production behind. He's got 5 racks online. He's got 2-2 coming up. True's is a smidge quicker. Maybe not on the melee upgrade. It's a single corruptor. I don't know if that's accidental, but maybe the accidental corruptor. Throw it in there. We'll pretend like it's a strat. You use it to eat the splash damage. Of course. I don't. There's only one turret here. He's actually committed. Future might have thought this was just a handful of mutas. That's not. That's a big handful. Oh, but at the same time on the other side, a handful of mutas, a single corruptor. If he can get everything together, Marines trading here for the Mutalist, and he gets the drop back home. True is maxed out. And he has Bane speed. The creep pushed back towards his 4th. But he's still got a great economy. This is the time for a swing here for True. Or he tries to tech up. Does he have an infestation pit? He does not. He can't go to Hive. This is full-on brawling right now. We're going full layer tech against full mid-game Terran Marines, tanks, adding on some Liberators, 2-2 upgrades across the board. It's going to be creep spread versus Marines versus mutas versus Banelings. I described a lot of things here. Let's see how it plays out. A Zergling counterattack on the left. Mutas flying into the 3rd. There are some Marines on the way here reinforcing, but there is no turret. He's got more Marines in the main. He's got to deal with this and not get overwhelmed by the Banelings on the other side. So dangerous. The tanks will siege. The Banelings just coming through. The Marines need to split. They split by the tanks. The tanks taking a lot of damage of their own. He's tearing through everything. Where did the Banelings go? They just disappeared. More holding the line. He's on the edge of the creep. The mutas have cleared the main. Future supply is dipping. Oh, he's trying to get some targeting. He needs to get something here. The mutas, though, the mutas get caught. The Liberator's actually killing mutas. I haven't seen that in years. The Baneling's going back. He's trying to target fire. They're underneath the medevacs. There's only like 3 left, but if even one of them could... Oh, he gets them! But it's not enough. Future just tapping it out. I know, maybe not confident. He knows he hasn't touched the economy. He hasn't touched the economy. He hasn't touched... Well, he didn't kill all the mutas. They're more in production. There's another base to the north. And while, like, he's still pretty high on the supply, it's very, like, 5 bases, and he's just trading. The mutas are eventually going to overwhelm him. But, still, True will hold on for the invited players and win 3-2. And that dramatic end. That will conclude the first day of Starladder Ultimate Series North America. Same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, midnight for those of you in the beautiful country of Europe. The results today. We kicked it off with Masa taking a 3-0 over Cuddlebear with some decisive TVT. The next match, Neeb versus Jardozer, which featured Neeb doing a proxy 4-gate successfully and taking two pretty clean-cut games. And then Puck went up against Scarlett, but Scarlett got the better. That was definitely a lot closer. There were moments where Puck definitely had opportunities, but Scarlett, the macro was far too strong, is what it seemed at the end of the day. And then, of course, True versus Future, about as close as you're going to get. A wide variety of, well, honestly, Future kind of tried to play mostly the same style, but had to adapt based on what True was doing. So that's classic True, very dynamic Zerg. But we're doing it all again tomorrow. It's every player will end up playing against one another, I believe. Tomorrow's matches will be some of these players playing each other. We're going to have 2 rounds of matches tomorrow. We're going to have 4. There's going to be more games with all these players tomorrow, and I'm confusing myself by trying to figure out exactly what the matches will be. So we'll just go ahead and say it's going to be Neeb versus Scarlett 4 times. Okay, just hold on to that. Tune in tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. For you, there will be no the stream will end, and it will be very sad. But then immediately after, the stream will come back up, and I'll be a real streamer with no delay. Of course, online events, especially Blizzard sponsored, there's a mandated delay just to make sure there are no issues. But thank you guys for watching Ultimate Series Day 1 North America. Hopefully you tune in tomorrow. See you next time, and see you now.